Hey, what's up? This is Joe Morris. Welcome back to the Tweom podcast.
What's going on? It's your other host, Louis the
My bad, I
15th.
messed it up, Lou.
Oh, now you messed it up.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
run it back.
Right.
Every time.
Run it back.
What's up? I'm your host, Joe Morris. Welcome back to the Tweom podcast.
It's your other host, Louis the 15th.
It's your other host, Walt Rid.
And today we have a special guest, the head of Core Entertainment, our OG, Kenneth Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Big dog.
What's up, Kenny?
Sir, yes, sir.
Ain't nothing, chilling. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Glad to see some familiar faces here. You feel me?
Yeah. I completely agree, man, especially during this time, yo.
Yeah, man.
Yo, my man Lewis.
What up, Kenny?
Yeah, man. So I just want to, start the conversation off with the basic question I've asked all black people this week. How y'all niggas doing?
Exhausted.
Hey, listen. To be honest with you, I'm doing good. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been in the crib. My wife is like, "You ain't going out, nigga." You feel me? She's like, "We don't need you to get sick. You pay too many bills around here."
Yeah, I understand. I've been in the crib too.
Yeah, I be stuck in the crib, man. Like, she don't even want me to go nowhere. But we're gonna have to change that in a little bit because there's something big coming up here. You feel me? I got to get this thing done.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that for sure.
Yeah.
But so all right. So how you been doing, Walt?
Maintaining best I can, man. Work is a nice little distraction, a couple hours a day. But past that, just trying to consume as much relative information as possible, which is it sounds like an oxymoron, but yeah, it's just a lot of like sifting at this point.
Yeah. How about you, Lou?
Yeah, I'm doing the opposite of all that shit. I'm going out, getting some fresh air, and I'm just trying not to be on like social too much because every day it's like some new shit. But I check in like once in a while to see if anything changed, as far as like charges or, where the protest is at and all that type of stuff. But I'm good, man. Life is good.
Okay. Yeah, same for me. I just been keeping my nose, paying attention to certain things, tagging people for certain organizations that they can donate to help. And like I said, man, I've been taking my breaks from social when I need to, not all day breaks, just hourly ones.
Your mother on pizza?
But as regard for that, everything else has been pretty much the same as before that. We still on COVID, so.
Hey, facts.
Yeah.
Hey, I showed you that bottle because I'm taking a sip I seen you sipping, and I've been watching that other podcast when it was his birthday. So yeah, let me give you that, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you got him. Give me a course light or something.
Oh, you ain't see me drinking this whole time.
Nah. Hey, y'all want some?
Shit, if I can take a shot to the screen,
please.
Send me a text. Text me some of that Hennessy, yo.
It's right here. Look. It's right here. Coors Light.
Oh, I don't drink Coors. That joint nasty as fuck.
Hell nah. Just go to the go.
Shit.
Yo, this thing right here, it's that thing. Hey, I don't know if y'all other two, y'all drink beer? They don't drink beer, dude.
Nah, bro.
I drink beer.
I don't mess with it like
you
that.
drink beer?
Yeah.
Damn, Slim, you looking good though. Yeah, he looking good. Don't need a haircut, nothing. You feel me?
I appreciate that.
You snuck into a barbershop, Walt?
Oh boy, hey, who cut your?
No, wait, hold on. Relax. Nah, there was a what do you call it? A shoot that I had down in Richmond like 2 weeks ago. So I had to, get all cleaned up and whatnot.
Okay. I know you was back in the game.
Oh no, we still working. I
Woo!
gotta go down this weekend too. So
yeah, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think my job about to get rid of me.
God.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, look, get yourself a job at the grocery store.
Nah, I'm good. I'm
Look,
be
discounts on food.
on food. I'm done. I'm done working for people. after
Bruh.
this.
Hey,
After this show. The only reason I say that is because everyone, like, for the most part, most people seem to be getting back to a normal work life in some regard. But
Yeah,
I don't.
you should
I
cut it
just
all the way
heard.
down the
I
middle
heard
first.
that August is our expected potential. Maybe we might be
Come
back
here.
in the office. So
You should just cut the pizza in 4 slices.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Shoot.
Kenny got a whole meal coming.
Your
Yeah, I
side
know, right?
should be 2. The other side
Yeah.
should be 2.
So Kenny,
Get it? Yeah.
before you gotta go, I just wanted to get you tap in with you, man. Get your OG perspective on what you see going on right now, man.
yeah, man.
Yo, men are blood clot stuff, you know? You know what I'm saying? You know, bomber clot, you know what I'm saying? Yo,
Babylon, Babylon.
yo, let me tell you something. This is not nice. This is not nice out there.
Nah.
They caught his ass. They caught him. They caught him on video and he can't get it. Did you see today that the other police officers got charged?
Yes.
Y'all see that? Hey, listen, you know that was coming. They had too much heat on. Too much heat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, man, it took us a lot. And I'm glad that the people I couldn't been out there because I'm scared to get COVID. I'm be honest with you. It ain't about me protesting. I got this heart issue, and I know if I get hard, then it attack my lungs, I'll be done.
Yeah.
I can't play around. Too many people out there with masks, some without masks. I can't even take that chance. But if I had a shield, I'd be out there.
I mean, that's understandable.
I can't go out there like that. But,
I have my own fears regarding COVID because of my Crohn's. You know, that's already immunodeficiency disorder. But like I said, man, I also have. I also don't know, man. I'm thinking about
Hey, can you give me a piece?
the youth that's out there. You know, a lot of 30 and younger.
Yeah, it's a young crowd. It's not an older crowd, man. But what it is, they can't take it, bro. And I don't blame them. It's no more. The younger crowd, what we have today, to the older crowd, the younger crowd, they see this stuff now. They just get rah-rah. They know how to get rah-rah.
Yeah.
And they're not taking it, bro.
Well, like I was telling you before, man, this is the generation that we have trained to prepare for a shooter in the school. So, like, their daily life is the rah-rah. You know what I'm saying? Like, a school shooter could walk in any second on any school, and these kids have been going in to these buildings every day with that mentality that shit could pop off. So, I mean, it's a rational fear for them to have. So I'm not sure that they I think the comfort or the sense of false peace that we identify with as growing up our formative years under Obama, like, they caught the tail end of Obama, which was when all this white supremacy started to kick up again. Because like I said, man, I think at this point we can diagnose that every step we take forward, we take 2 back. And clearly Trump was 2 back.
Oh, yeah.
So, because they couldn't handle that shit. They got a black man in the White House and he was doing a good job. Man. And he rocked it out for 8 years. No scandals. What? They couldn't handle that joint. And especially since the one before that was Bush, who was fucking up. When he got out of bed, Bush was fucking up. So I think we just caught the reverberation of that with this man's presidency. And I think we're just seeing those ripples in the pond right now of what it really meant November 9th, 2016. Because I know that I recognize this feeling we all have right now. We had it that night he won.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's been very clear to me that like Kenny said, this generation with the rah. Like, and they got everybody out there, man.
You got to give it to them though, because if they have the attitude that they have, this stuff probably wouldn't even reach it probably wouldn't reach where it's reaching right now without them going out there and want justice. You know what I'm saying?
I completely agree, man. Like I said, this is the first. It says the first time in history that there's been protests in all 50 states.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, shit got lit.
Man,
like,
they killed that man. He killed that man right on TV. Like what?
Yeah.
What?
And I know, man. Like, the world changed that day when they killed George Floyd. And I noticed this last night. It was Monday.
Was it Monday? What's
She
today?
died
What?
on a Monday.
Yeah. Yes, she
The
did.
world ended on Monday.
Excuse me.
That's wild.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
being dead serious, son. World changed on Monday, bro. She died Memorial Day, May 25th, Memorial Day. The world changed on Monday, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
You know the name of this podcast? What's the name of this podcast?
the world ends on Monday.
What?
Message.
Right. Been trying to tell you niggas.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
All right, yo. So what you think, Walt, about the energy that's out there, them kids with the rah-rah?
Honestly, I've been looking up what sedition means. And it means
Inform me. I never heard that shit.
Sedition is to inform or incite riots in opposition to the authority, ruling party, or monarchy. So with the goal of taking it over. All right. So essentially it's like, yo,
Okay.
I if you start saying like, yo, I really like what the protesters and rioters are doing, you know, and if we can really do more, you know, with that, and if you start egging them on essentially with the hopes that in them rioting, you'll be able to assume power.
Oh, you mean basically climbing through chaos.
Because that's the shit that I want to see right now. But you know what? I realize that that's sedition. So, yeah.
Yeah, so my thing is this. Didn't that already happen with COVID?
No. See, that's the thing, though. It with COVID, it was science.
But they also said the largest movement of wealth to the 1% over the last 4 years, besides Trump's tax cuts from 3 years ago,
Was during this period?
Was during the COVID. So I don't know. I think if we're talking about using chaos of some kind, confusion to get your own agendas across, because you know people always have the deep state theories and we see the evidence of it. People leaving pallets of bricks around, like, and there's clearly undercover people in these crowds trying to cause conflict between police forces and protesters. So they know that the police are easy to trigger, especially when there's a lot of black people in front of them. So all they have to do is
not the police themselves.
I 100% believe it's some of them. But to me, I also understand that there is definitely an online aspect to. I'm not surprised that we have anarchists right now.
Oh yeah, I mean they've been wanting this for a long time.
Yeah, and I think like they're opportunists, man.
Of course they are.
You know,
yeah.
And honestly, I can't think of a time and place in any system or anything in America where you don't have opportunists.
Let me tell you, anarchists is things have to do what it's doing and escalate to a certain degree for that to happen. Because if it doesn't, he can't bring that particular law in if certain things doesn't happen. So this stuff has to happen, riot, bringing the military, the governors have to go and get out of control. Then he can activate that, and then it'd be a whole new world order.
Martial law?
Martial law. Once you get that martial law in, it's going to be a whole new world order. And then when they do the whole new world order, then everybody's going to have to sign in. That's what he wants.
Yeah. Because I think, I completely agree with it, because I think that's what they want. They want to see so much dissension that it okays it in the minds of enough people who live affluently that it's justified whatever they do to quell that tension. Mm-hmm. You know, if they got to bring in the military, rich upper class people be like, do what you must do so I can go to the Gucci store this Saturday. If without fear that my purse will be, they want all of those things to come in. And like, to your point, when I'm seeing all these people sharing posts from how Hong Kong was doing their protesting, Okay, then we get information from how did Iraq do it. So I'm looking, this is a global conflict that he's trying to rein in right now. Because we can't say that we haven't seen the proletariat rise up through numerous countries over the last 8 years.
Yeah.
But
From Venezuela to
Started with the what do you call this? The
Arab
awakening?
Spring.
Arab Spring. There you
The
go.
Arab Spring. Yeah. And we can't act like we didn't cause that as Americans. You know?
what we have to do is not riot. If
Yeah.
you don't riot, the law, they won't be able to do it. But if you escalate the riot and it get out of hand and the governors can't control it, that's when it's going to get crazy.
Yes.
I completely agree. And the scary part about that is it doesn't even have to be your fault. Because if they see a riot, it's
They're taking
our fault
everybody.
anyway. They're taking everybody, but Fox News is already going to put the spin on it.
Yeah.
And so you get Fox News crowd to be like, BLM, I knew they were a terrorist organization. Like, there will be, I feel like there could be a point in time in this country where if you talk about racism as if it's a bad thing, or if you talk about it existing, you might be considered a terrorist. Like, I feel like that's the push for the level of denial that some people want. Because we're talking about the silence this week, right?
Right.
That deafening silence of certain people not speaking up. We was talking about on the phone earlier, Kenny. Michael Jordan said some shit. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, hey, the doc came out, so this is his second chance.
Yeah, I know, right?
Redemption.
Redemption, man. He had no choice, man. It's like,
exactly. And this is an easy layup too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think from that video, man, I think we all clearly saw a lynching.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's
real
exactly what it is.
lynching.
Not
Some
no
of the
hanging lynching.
Yeah.
The new lynching. Just kill him.
Just kill him.
Right on TV. They said, we lynched this dude. You're playing around? That's exactly what it is. The new lynching.
100%. And he was looking at the camera while he did it. Like, yo, we going
Yeah.
viral.
Hands in his pocket. Like, yeah, do something. Yeah. Make a move.
He had a look on his face like, we going viral. That's what he had to look like. We going viral with this one. Like, yeah, so like I think these protests will be out there for a while. I'm already of the mindset like they need to be out there till we get this motherfucker up out of office. Like
I can't see him making office after all this. I really can't see it. But
well,
if he do, it'd be a miracle.
To your point, Kenny, I could see him taking the office. Like, that's what I see. I see him doing whatever he got to do to not get the boot. Because right now, he's an impeached president, technically.
He's in trouble when he come up out that chair.
They can reintroduce the articles of impeachment and have Senate vote on them again right now. You can do that. But they said no the first time because the Senate's Republican majority. However, I think to some or to many white people, circumstances have shifted a little bit. So I'd be very interested to know if they reintroduce them, because you probably get a couple more people to do what Mitt Romney did on the last one.
Yeah.
Which is just, you know what? Fuck this dude. Like,
see, I think it's not going to reach that far because the governors of the state has to ask for the president for the help. If the governors don't ask him, he cannot do what he's going to do. He cannot do it.
Yeah, the governors have to create the permission.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed is there may not be a governor on his side, but there might be a mayor. You know?
But, you know, the governor has more power than the mayor.
I agree.
But so it's like the mayor, even though the mayor stuff, the governor controls it. So it has to be the governor. The mayor can't make that decision.
I agree on terms of what happens with the state, but what happens with your local elections, the mayor can decide that due to social distancing, we can only have 2 voting booths instead of 6, and you got to stand in line 6 feet apart. And next thing you notice, it just turns into voting requires 15 hours instead of the average 12 they give us. And then those last 3 hours, you just cut the line off. And they always say, we'll let everyone vote. But as we found out in Georgia's election in 2018, Brian Kemp was hiding ballots, bro. He took whole vote machines out. So people of Atlanta had to sit and wait around the block to get in their vote. And then the absentee ballots, which is the ones you fill out and mail in beforehand, so you got to avoid all the crowd. Those were found on a truck in some random spot. Just they broke the truck open. I remember seeing the video. They broke the truck open, just absentee ballot boxes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so then it turns into just good old fashioned. We gonna keep whatever power we can keep, and whatever power they lose. But we already know, man, the Electoral College was in place so white slave owners could keep their power.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that's why they wanted to count us as 3/5 as a human. Because the slave owners was like, hold on. You saying Mississippi only got 10,000 people, but if I count the slaves in Mississippi, we got 25,000.
Mm-hmm.
But they was like, no, you can't count slaves because they slaves. He said, okay, if I count 5 towards 1, I at least get up to 20,000. You see what I'm saying? So that was their manipulation of the money, of the metric, so that when the Electoral College went into play, a vote from your massa was a vote that spoke for this plantation. So it wasn't just he casted 1 vote, it was he casted 1 vote, but I got 20 slaves, so that equals up to 5. So I got 6 votes as one white man down here in Mississippi.
Joel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull you back in.
Yeah, go ahead. No. It's no. Oh no.
Because we went over here.
Nah.
We was over here, like it's all connected. When it was out, it was there. It was just like, wait.
It's
Okay,
all connected. It's all connected.
Wait,
I was gonna bring it back
come back,
myself.
come back,
I was gonna bring it back myself. You know, I always bring the boat back. I always bring the boat back, nigga.
So
Because we are meandering.
He got to keep it here. He went.
Well, like I said,
Right.
man, that look, I'm cool with the critique on that, because I realize sometimes my train of thought jumps to certain places and everybody can't follow to certain degrees because they don't really think about these things on a substantive level all the time. So I realized that when I watch all the podcasts, I'm like, okay, I was talking here, I was talking there. I always try to bring it back full circle to some degree, or I usually try to play off some comment one of y'all make to try to bring it back around.
He brought it back.
Yeah. Like I said, man.
Come down here, babe. Come on down.
Look, we were talking about voting. I started bringing up the history of voting.
Yes.
And
It's
why,
it's
and to how he can keep the power.
So he can. It's connected, but I know what he's talking about.
I know. I understand. I'm not mad at it at all.
Yo,
I
bring
know
that
me.
drone back. Yo, bring that drone back.
Yeah, nah, I completely understand. I started getting into them restricted air fly zones.
Yeah, he went to the restricted air. Yo, dog, you gonna get blowed up. Come back over here in the wrong zone.
Come back. I completely agree, man. I know. I understand. Like I said, I completely understand. So y'all got him pretty much not winning another election.
You know what? At first, I was like, he had the possibility, but you know what did it? This did it, because you got Republicans, presidents really going against the man, former presidents. Yo, you know what? It's not the thing. Yo, they just say, yo, he's stepping his bounds. He's like, you know, he's being like, you know who? What's the mob dude name in New York?
Capone?
No, not Capone. The dude in New York. His name is Gotti, John Gotti.
Oh,
they told
Gotti.
John Gotti, listen, stay in your place. You have all the power, but stay in your place. He was like, freak that, but he's supposed to be in the background. John Gotti, what he did, he came out to the forefront and they're like, yeah, I did that. I'm doing that. And look what happened to him. Done.
Yeah.
The president's going to be a little harder just because if we do this to the president and other countries see, they're gonna take us for the weakness, saying that, damn, they going after they leader after this. So we don't want them. They don't want them to think that we weak. So they have to do it a certain way so the other countries don't realize what they're doing, how we take power back. Because this man is crazy.
Yeah.
We have to do it a certain way. For real.
Yeah. You know, I'm very interested. I agree. And I don't like the way we demonstrate power. Because like you said, man, they can't show us running up in that joint, grabbing him out, because then it looks like America is unstable, weak.
Right. There you go. Right.
But I also can understand that, man, the show of strength and resolve is going to come with, I just want us to admit, and when I say us, I mean white people, to admit that they fucked up when they voted for this nigga. like
sense, man.
Even if them admitting that is just not voting for him again. Like, you know, but it's very interesting. We shall see. What do you think about it? Well, you just kind of chilling.
Nah, you're gonna have to bring up a history of accountability with white people, and that's it's part of the white American culture.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like half the problem right there, because you think about it, it's like when you think about spoiled white kids or just white kids in general, it's like their parents tell them something and we always hear the trope and they always talk back to them on shut up mom or shut up Karen, like, or you know, and you as the friend are just kind of like sitting there like, I would never in all of my days, you know, yell at my parents, you know, in that capacity. It's like there's always been that joke that's been there, but it's there for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. The accountability for a white man and a black man is two different meanings.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Like
wholeheartedly,
the accountability structure is way out of whack. I mean, from children, you know, it is out of whack. So we can only imagine, you know, the scale when you get when you're an adult, and we see it.
Well, I always said while he was running for president, that what I realized was America didn't have the capacity through our media, through our personal conversations, to hold a rich white man accountable for what he says and what he does.
Hey, like, can you hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you well.
Okay.
I just realized that they just didn't have CNN didn't have the tools in their belt to really get after Trump.
Yo, fake
so it
news?
was, well, this did. Well, it's more like, for instance, CNN would cover him, and there would be this aghast. I can't believe he just said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much how most white people dealt with Trump's lunacy is, I can't believe he just said it.
Yeah.
Where in my brain, I was like, but can you go against what he said? Or is it just, oh my God, I can't believe he said it? Mm-hmm. Because at some point, you can't believing he said it. He said it.
Yeah.
Like, we can't continue to be shocked. Like, I still see people shocked what he said this week. And I'm like, are you really shocked?
Your governors need to get tougher. You need to get tougher out there, and you're looking like punks.
Yes. Once the looting starts, the shooting starts.
He said, do what you have to do. Yo, what president in the world? This man is going.
It's not a president. It's a dictator, man. It's a full-fledged dictator. If you do not respect him and bow down to him, you automatically are a second-class citizen. Regardless of your race, creed, religion, or sexuality, you're a second-class citizen.
Right.
The second you say anything against him.
But that's where the military should step in theoretically. Because they should, once they start seeing signs of this dictatorship, they should be like, no, we are not moving in this capacity, and seek to quell it.
Well, this is another problem I diagnosed
theoretically.
Earlier. All the people of good sounding morals retired or quit under him because they couldn't deal with it.
What's that guy, Esper?
Which one?
What he was some high-ranking member of the military. Fucking A.
Yeah. I remember, but like, if you don't remember, like 2016 and 2017 was pretty much just powerful people quitting their job.
Gone.
The FBI, head of the FBI was out. He got fired. Like, and so you realize at some point, Trump is just filling these positions with people who worship him.
That's it.
Like, I
They
forget,
have no
who's that?
They don't have the experience.
Who's that retired general that was brought up on war crimes under Bush that he brought back and reinstated? I can't remember his name, but there's this general that he brought back and reinstated and gave power to. People forget when he pardoned Judge Joe Arpaio from Arizona, who was locking Mexicans up in pretty much internment camps. He pardoned that motherfucker like in 2017, second year in office. He pardoned them. So,
setting his team up.
2017, first year in office. Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Setting the squad up. So now I'm thinking about, okay, it's just because allegiance to him. I remember when Comey wrote that out. He was like, look, President called me to a private dinner and pretty much asked me to bow down to him. And Comey was like, I ain't do that shit. And then like a week later, that nigga was fired because he told us about it. And I was just like, how many of these motherfuckers is kissing the ring behind scenes? And we just don't know because they like to come out. Like I said, the Republicans were getting away with it for so long. All they have to do is come out and act shocked by what Trump said. Say they don't agree with it, but
what do you call this? The Mitch McConnell apparently has an ounce of decency in his body because he condemned the moving of protesters, and he is in support of reform.
Look.
But that is the closest that he could say. But I would have thought Mitch McConnell would even venture.
Mitch McConnell has too much power for us to be giving that nigga participation points.
Oh no, it's not even. It's almost like.
I get it, but they've done that before. Like he does something egregious, they come out, rebuke it, but then they just keep it pushing.
Hey, let me ask you something. Where's your other host at?
I don't know.
No, we don't know.
I was about to ask in a second, cause this nigga left like for real, son.
This nigga call him on his phone.
He said, "I'll be right back." Is this nigga cooking a whole meal in the kitchen right now?
Yo.
You know, they said, man, you know them niggas, they just doing the podcast. They'll be fine.
That's what it feels like. This nigga said, I'll be right back, yeah.
I'll be right back.
They'll be fine.
We was talking at least 25 minutes.
Man.
Yeah, like I know. This is just a bad look.
I ate my pizza, got me some chips. You know what I'm saying?
We done had 2 conversations, or at least 2 target points brought up.
Yeah.
Dang. I just texted him where he at. Like, where this nigga at?
He got a girlfriend? Yeah.
I don't know. Lewis be doing something with somebody somewhere at some point.
Who he live with it? He with his parents?
I don't know. For all we know, this nigga could have went to the store. Like, he been gone a minute. Like, it's just a dead spot on the podcast right now.
His 2 partners supposed to hold him down. And he said,
we've been trying, but it's just like, this is a bad look. This nigga's chair is empty for this whole conversation right now.
Hey, but you know what he say? Oh, that's just kidding. He's good. Oh, we know the host. We good.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's a nonchalant nature in which you approach these things, man. I want us to have some level of seriousness when we start filming these things, man.
Yeah.
I literally said to y'all niggas, is everybody ready? And he was like, yeah.
He's like, yeah.
And I started recording and we started going he bounced. Right yeah, man, shoot. And he just, it's funny, man. He's like, he won't take it serious until we start getting views. Some people like that, man. They don't take shit serious until it's buzz around it.
Oh, shit, that buzz is there.
Be the example of racism this week.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Some people thought Racism was a mixtape. They know it was a full album. Grammy nominated.
Yo.
Performances at the Oscar.
Racism was like the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. It was like if Michael Jackson. It was like the Michael Jackson This Is It tour. Like it was just skyrocket. Just
yes.
You forgot.
Yes, man.
You forgot.
Number one in ticket sales everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Racism.
Classics after classics.
I wanted to get into another topic, but I wanted Lou to kind of divulge in this joint. So I don't know. Damn. If somebody called us, the fuck?
Does he even have his phone on him?
Well, I guess if it start ringing in his damn chat, we'll see.
Somebody called y'all and you didn't answer?
I'm gonna call him right now. If it start ringing in his chat, I'm gonna be like,
damn.
Let me see. See if he left the phone here. Where you at, dog?
Nah, he took his phone with him. So whatever he doing, he probably on the phone. Bullshit.
God.
Well,
don't tell me this nigga caking on the.
He got some girl, yo. He got some girl. Yo, hold on.
He's supposed to be working. Busy caking.
You back at a regular job?
Nope. I'm working with my pops. I mean, we slow down a lot, but you know, I'm doing a little bit, you know, during the week. But I went and got a job at Trader Joe's, and that's full time now. So, yeah.
Okay, that's what's up, man. So, what about your pop's company, though?
I'm sorry.
He's looking at text.
Is your pop's company gonna be all right, though?
We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be decent. At the end of the day, right now, we just have to slow down on our hours because, one, a lot of our techs have kids, so we don't want to put them out in the field and then come bring it back to them. And then we got techs that have, you know, breathing issues. They got asthma and whatnot, so we don't want to put them, you know, in the middle of something and then have them have an asthma attack or anything like that. So, but right now, we're okay.
Okay.
What's up?
So, did you get any of that
the
stimulus money to help you?
We got about a month's worth of stimulus. Okay. And that they were asking to. In fact, no, we got less than a month. Now that
I'm about to say that sounds generous for a black company.
Yeah, we said we got less than a month's worth of payroll, and yeah, no, that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was just like, all right, well, I mean, it is what it is. We got the money, but now it's like, all right, we just have to make sure we're within the parameters so that we can write it off at the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up, yo.
Yeah, man. It's trying.
Yeah, everyone's got the struggle, yo.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know what about struggle. If I show you what's in my refrigerator, you'll be like, yo, it's serious. It's hurting.
Your fridge? Kenny, you always got your fridge loaded up.
Just like, this man talking about his fridge.
First of all, the last person I was worried about besides your heart thing, I said, I ain't worried about Kenny being hungry. He got the glizzy. I ain't worried about nothing regarding Kenny.
If I show you my garage, you'd be like, yo,
I've seen your garage. I've seen your garage.
It's how you know Kenny is smooth, man. How you just gonna have a pineapple just chilling in the frame like it's nothing? Like wealth. That's what it is. Just, hey, niggas got pineapples.
For real, man. Only rich niggas got pineapples. Whole pineapples in the kitchen, nigga.
Come on, what's up?
I got my pineapples out the can, Kenny.
I had to go put on the ski mask and come back. That's all I did.
Whoa.
You, man. Pineapple fell off the truck, huh? Fell off the truck.
That's when it fell off. You know how you get the equipment, it fell off the truck.
Fell off the truck.
That's no questions. That's no questions. You want it or not?
Oh man, yo.
Mm.
Yo,
Yeah,
Lewis better be taking the most painful shit in human history right now, because I'm starting
He's
to get
been
pissed.
taking nothing paid from. He over there like, man, I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying this podcast. You feel me?
Oh, wow.
He's over there in the corner right now. You just can't see him. That's how you know. That's how you know Kenny's. That's how you know Kenny's watched before, because he know Lou just be chilling there. So Louis just be chilling there sometimes, Jack. That's what he do on camera. He just be on his phone sometimes. Me and Walt be talking. He just be on his phone.
I be watching yo. Don't get me on. You're on there, and I look, and I be like, I start laughing. I be like, man, Louis, man.
Yeah. He just don't be.
He's sound as a lamb sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You talk the most. Dennis Walt. He talk a little bit, you know, throw his little something. He throw his little James L. Jones voice in a little bit.
Yeah, just a smidge. Let me just comment a smidge.
So just to let the ladies know, hey, come on now, let me go. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, yo. Facts, man. Shoot.
Then he be like, I'm good. Oh, I gave them enough.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shoot, man.
You didn't think I was gonna dial in today, did you?
I thought you would. I just know I gotta give you enough notice, man.
Yeah.
Like if I had told you today, I know it would have been a no. But I told you on Monday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've been telling myself I gotta
the prodigal son returns.
Yo, son, why are you sweating, dog?
The prodigal son returns, John. Where is you, bro?
Yeah, he's sweating.
I don't ever sweat. I had to take care of some business real quick.
That's no joke. You know what I told him? Hey, Louis, you want me to tell him what I told him about you? I said, he's right over there on the side, taking care of his business. Everybody.
What's her name, yeah?
No names.
No names of the pod. Yo, man, you know what? When they shared that people were questioning the legitimacy of the blackout. And it's clear that somebody released some shit, so we just shut the fuck up for a day. But I appreciated the solidarity factor of it, with people sharing the black square. Yeah. So I participated out of goodwill. But then I also realized the other benefit of this is I could start unfollowing these motherfuckers. Because I was going through, if I ain't see that black square, dog, unfollow.
One of them podcasts you had, I seen everybody popping up. I seen Big Boy, then I seen your other friend. I was like, damn, they got like 12 people on. What's going on here?
Oh yeah, that was my birthday one.
Yeah. Everybody was popping up on that joint, man. I was like, yo, that's what's up.
Yeah, it was lit. I like that. That was a nice little way to celebrate.
I was trying to edit myself in there, but I couldn't get in there.
I would still prefer a real 30th birthday party, but that was good enough.
Yeah.
Hey, dog, my wife's birthday was the 17th, right, of May. Wow. And I had big plans, but I ain't gonna lie, I saved a lot of bread. You feel me?
He's like, we got to stay in the house. What the government say, babe?
Hey, listen, yeah, I saved a good 12, 13 days.
Yeah, man.
I was getting ready to get hit over the head, but I was like, yo, I got to do this because it was a 50th. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Got you, man. That's what's up, yo.
She don't look, wifey just don't see what she don't. I be like, yo, will you relax? She be thinking she old. I'm like, yo, chill, man. You look like you 33. Yeah, shut up. You just say that.
Yeah, your wife looks young. She looks mad young, yo.
She just don't understand.
How's your family dealing with all this? I don't know what we call this. What do we call this?
Some bullshit.
Yeah, I guess bullshit. How's your family doing with the bullshit? What, Kenny?
It's good, man. Good, man. Everybody hanging in there. I'm gonna show you. I took a picture of her in the kitchen on her 50th birthday. I don't know if y'all can put the camera out on this thing. Let's see if it's on this side.
Your thing.
I do, yeah, it's your.
Hold on, let me look. Hey,
that pineapple out the way.
Joint, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
SpongeBob's house out of here.
You gotta let us see what the studio look like sometime, Kenny.
All right.
It was a tour of that joint.
Huh?
Yeah. But yeah, so I seen your sister was out there protesting, Lou.
Yes.
This her on her 50th. She thinking she look. Let me see if you can see it.
She look about young as.
Let's see if I can bring up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
She look about 30 something, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yo, she look mad young for her age, yo. You know that black don't crack like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you treat it well.
Yeah, and I be telling her, yo, relax, you good. And honestly, I want her to think she don't look like that. So if all the niggas gonna be coming around bothering me, don't, yo, nigga, watch it. I got that, that heat stay heated up. You know what I'm saying? Like the niggas come around here, y'all know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. That's what they say.
I gotta keep that dude right there away from her. That one on the right corner. Cause he tried to come there with that deep voice. Me and him got issues.
This nigga Lou.
He come there with that shit.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't leave my girl around Lou either. Yeah.
I can't leave him like he started doing that James Earl Jones shit. I'm like, yo, get out my house, bro. Get out my house.
Yeah, man. Shoot, yeah.
Yeah, it's that voice he got. She be like, cool.
As soon as my girl be like, your friend's voice is so deep, I be like, you ain't never gonna be alone with that nigga ever.
Nah.
Voice light as a motherfucker, right?
You get it with the lights is like real dim. You can only see shadow. Then he come out. He say, you won't do that with me, dog. My wife might go for that shit too. I'm being real. Nope. Nah, she's 50. I'm 54. Nah, keep your young ass over there, James Earl Jones.
Nah.
James Black with the attack.
Nope. Yeah.
Nigga James Black is back.
Yeah, he's dangerous right now. You only what you like 25, 6?
About to be 27.
Yeah, keep that little young ass James Earl Jones. Keep your stay away from me. You come to my crib, son. I'm be like, that motherfucker gonna stay in the closet. He gonna stay in the garage.
So I was talking with Kenny earlier, man. I don't think I can go back to the office after this, man. Like, I'm prepared to just 24/7 grind towards getting it on our own, yo. We got some plans we're gonna talk about with y'all later off the camera, but yeah, you know, it's like I just can't. I'm done. I'm really done. Like, fuck health insurance. I'm ready to roll the dice, bro. Like, I'm over it, man. Like, so my office released a statement about racism, right? And we have Microsoft Teams. They also created a channel on Microsoft Teams to deal with diversity and whatever, right? So I was talking with another one of my coworkers. I was like, it ain't happened after Ahmaud Arbery. Like, it had to be all this for them to just be like, racism is bad. The only other time I remember them releasing a statement that even mentioned race in any regards was after Trump won, which was almost 4 years ago now. They released a statement talking about, we gonna stand with any marginalized groups or whatever, And I'm like, bro, you know, when you say stuff like that, you gotta be there. So, like I said, I'm over it. I'm just over all the way going in there, doing anything at this point, man.
I mean, you know what? That's your prerogative, and I want you to be able to enjoy that, but I don't want you to not feed your empty pockets to survive.
I completely agree on that.
Make sure you're okay. Because you can't give them the satisfaction of that. You know, I know you might not want to go back, but you have to.
I mean, for me, though,
I
think at this point, I completely agree with you, Kenny. That's why I've been there, for safety, for bills, for expenses, 110%. But like I said, man, I'm cool with got a little bit of savings. It's just for me, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think I'm 30 right now, man. If we ain't gonna get it out the mud, we never gonna get it out the mud. Like, you know, any way possible, any way I can do it, yo. Like I said, man, I'm just, even if it's like just working for my sister part-time sometimes.
Right.
So she can help, so she can float me a little bit of bread every once a month to do something for her, you know, or even if it's just she decides to do another flip, being active with that, helping her out, or, You know, when my friends, some people get back to freelance and taking on some editing jobs here or there, so I could, you know, just pay these bills, man. That's all I care about is the bills. Like, you know, I just, like I said, man, I don't know, man. I just feel like if we go back to, if I have any moment the rest of this year, if I have a feeling wash over me like, this is exactly how it was last year, we fucked up. Like, that feeling should not be comfort for you. Like, if you're doing something later on this year, they released all the quarantines. We back in bars doing what we do. Whatever's happening is easy freezy. If you sitting there chilling and you just like, I was doing the exact same thing last year, you fucked up. Something should change, bro. This is too much time to yourself, too much time with your thoughts, too many changes in the society we live in for you just to be like something should be new. Either you in a new bar, you in a new location, you got new people around you. Something has to be new in your life when we do get back to, you know, being out in public and being around other people like that.
Yeah, that's my whole objective. I gotta bring something nice. I gotta bring something new into my life to do better. And I'm working on that. No joke, man. I don't know. I think God gave me an opportunity, what I was talking to you about earlier, Joe. I was like, I don't know. I think this one here is a real good one, you know?
No, man, I feel the same way. You know, I think I look for the blessing in the struggle, man. That's our people's gift. Look for the blessing in the struggle. And I think one thing about being in this house, man, I've been able to focus in on the craft, right? Come up with some ideas. And
Lewis, I moved you, baby.
Yeah.
What's up?
100%.
I'm gonna need you.
Yeah.
After we start recording.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, when we know formative plans, man, we'll be talking to people. And then later on this year, man, I want to be in production on the show. I talked to Chris yesterday. He going through it in his own way because he ain't had no work. You know, he doing the unemployment thing.
I thought Chris was gonna give me one. Yo, chill. I had to talk to him. Like, yo, it's not over with, dog. Take it easy. I said, yo, in your life? I said, bro, you okay? He thinking that he's at the bottom because he don't have a job and feel less than a man or whatever, not being, you know, I'm like, yo, dog, you have no idea, dog.
Yeah.
He got crazy credit. He's still living, paying his rent. Yo, if you got somebody help you, that's what you got to have, man. Some of us don't have that at all, man.
I agree, man. Like I said, I don't have a safety net since I'm older. Like, but I have people around me who love me, who won't let me be homeless.
That's right.
You know, everybody, you know, the memoriam on evicting people is about to end this month. So landlords can start kicking people out at the end of this month. You're gonna see even more people out there looting.
Well, there's another thing that's I can give your guys a tool to help you if something happened where, yo, this is gonna be the biggest credit meltdown in the history probably.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
People credit's gonna hit so bad. So what I concentrated on, and I'm telling you, I'm doing it to this today. In the past 2 weeks, not even two, I made a good about 4,700.
Okay.
And that's just sitting a couple of hours a day at the desk. What I did is I knew people credit was going to be hit, and I got myself prepared for it. And when I say they need credit fixed, and if you ain't got no credit, you ain't going to be able to go to no bank and get no money.
Right.
And the bank is giving money, but you got to have a 741 to an 850 credit score. Without even showing, like, okay, I gave you an example, and this is real. Me and my wife was buying a property, and I was about 50,000 short. And I said, well, I go get the money. I called up Navy Federal and I called up PenFed. I said, I took a loan out for PenFed for 25 and an offer for Navy Federal. You got to do it. You got to call one, hang up, and then you got to do the next one. You can't linger when you do that. So when I did it, they called me up. Oh, Mr. Daniel, how you doing? I said, I would like to, take out a personal loan. And they said, okay. They pulled my credit score. They pulled everything. Miss Daniel, where you want me to put the money at? They didn't even ask for a pay stub. You know what they wanted to see? That credit score.
Yeah.
That's all they did. I got the money sitting in the bank on that part because we didn't close the deal. I'm mad that I pulled my credit 2 times.
Yeah.
I'm
Gonna take a hard hit.
I don't mind because I only got 2 on it.
Yeah.
But I use that instead of using my personal money because I always tell people to use OPM money. I don't know if I told you about that, what that is. Other people's money.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got the credit score, you use other people's money to buy the property, sell the property back, give them a little bit of interest within 3 months it takes you to fix it up, put it back within 4 months. They might make, I mean, on the real, in that time, they might make $400. But you might make $15,000.
Yeah.
So I use their money to make money, but this deal didn't go through though. So the money is sitting there. So I'm like, I need to take this money and buy a property. Otherwise, I'm gonna just give the money back because I don't need their money. I was just using their money to do the deal.
Yeah.
And I'm telling y'all, whatever you do.
Was you doing a flip?
Yeah.
Okay. You've been flipping recently? Yeah.
I got a house in Baltimore I flipped. I put like the first one I put like 16 to I bought it for about 53. I put about 40 into it, sold it for like 145. That was the 7 months.
Okay.
So after you give them their money, they make a little $1,000, $1,500 on you. But look at the big thing that you make just for keeping your credit score tight.
How long did your renovations take?
About 4 months.
Okay, that's good.
But I tore it up though.
I get it. You gutted it. Like you say 4 months. If you told me a month, I'd be like, some light work that you had to do to it.
No.
But you had to do some real gritty stuff for 4 months.
I got pictures. I will show you pictures. Yeah, I did some major work for that joint.
Yeah, like I've gotten to know about flipping through Talithia. You know,
you just.
I think she's flipped like 6. She flipped like 10 houses. So.
Yeah, I was telling people that I don't know if y'all know who Susie Orman is. Do y'all know who that person is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I was ready to take a show on just to challenge her. Not saying I'm gonna beat her, but I learned from her, and I think that I learned so much that she'll be shocked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to how to keep your credit score, what to do with money. The money's there for you. All you got to do is pay back their money. They just keep lending you money, bro.
Yeah, I know you always tell us about it. I want to talk about it in depth when we start the core pod up, man. We got to get those conversations going, especially for the community, yo. Just so niggas just know, man. Like I'm looking at group investments right now. Like your homie put in $5,000. You put in $5,000.
Yeah.
The other homie put in $5,000, and such. You get 10 dudes together, $50,000. Boom, you buy this, you flip it, get the joint, and keep moving.
But look, check it out. You don't even have to put money up. All you got to do is have everybody with a 741 credit score, right?
Yeah.
It takes 4 of you.
I'm not gonna lie, Kenny. I know niggas who could get 5,000 easier than they can get their credit score up right now. Like that's the only reason I talked about cash. Cause I know what you talking about, Kenny, but I know niggas who get $5,000 easier than they get their credit score right now, dog. And that's just, it's sad, but it's facts. Some dudes left school and forgot they had loans, never paid them.
But I mean, you know what? That's why the people that know about it, that's why the avenue is there, because there's a lot for the people that do know about it, but they don't understand it. And it's like, I'm trying to preach it and preach it and preach it and tell our peoples about your credit needs to be tight. This whole world is on a note. Even a note, you look at the dollar. If you look at the dollar, it's a note. The money,
I know.
It's a note.
We made an agreement on how much it's worth.
Right.
And at some point, somebody can say it's not worth anything, and it isn't worth anything.
Right. So
it's not backed by any actual substantial resource. Our money used to be backed by gold.
But the way money is right now, it's scarce because the money could be obsolete right now, and then gold and silver is going to come in.
Yeah.
So you gotta
100%,
be
man.
you gotta be careful with that.
That's why that's why they're trying to get Africa. People in
So,
the Congolese stay with foreign people trying to take it over because they have so many resources.
so I've been fixing credit for a minute, but I always say, damn, why is certain stuff I can't do? So I got in touch with a buddy of mine in Atlanta. And what I did, I said, okay, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna pay for this paperwork. So what I did is I took the person, he does credit. So I got a couple of $50,000 credit cards, a couple of 25s, a couple of 20s.
Yeah.
So you know, you got 4 spots on each credit report. On each credit card, you got 4 spots. So what I do every month, I take the 7 credit cards I got. So that's 7 times 4. You get what I'm saying? I got 28 spots.
Mm-hmm.
And I get $500 a spot for adding people onto it to boost their credit score.
Like your family and stuff?
No, I get outside.
Just everyday people.
Oh, okay.
Every day. And then I keep them on only for 60 days. So that spot becomes available again.
Got you.
But when you say you have a spot on your credit card, what do you mean by that? What does that mean exactly?
An authorized user.
Yeah, it's an authorized.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I will put a person on the credit card and their credit score just to be right where they need to be, just for them to get a loan or whatever they need. I put them on there, boost their credit score up. They go get what they got to go so they can fix theirs and take the money. But you know, a lot of people is taking their money and don't do what I say, but then they be right back in the boat again, giving me more money.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Nah,
So-
I get it. So that's another way to do group economics, honestly.
So
Is
you could
what
take
you
some
just
7
talked
credit
about.
cards and you actually make money for the whole year.
Yeah.
So I never burn a credit card up. I don't even mess with them. I
Yeah.
keep that $167,000 just for people to get added on to it.
Yeah.
And that's 500. Now, if somebody want to get on a 500, you know, like between a $5,000 to $7,000, $10,000 card is $500. When I go on a $20,000 card, it's $750. You want to get on a $50,000, it's $1,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Got
you
you.
get that down. You can actually live the whole year like that. Did you know that? I knew about it, but now that I understand it, my man taught me a little bit. I was like, oh, I won't be broke no more.
Yeah.
There's always
That's dope
somebody
hustle,
out
man.
there that show them about that. So that's why I say it's not about what you can get from the bank, it's how you use your credit.
Yeah. I've been through my ups and downs with credit, man. I've had to learn the hard way on
Yeah.
many occasions. Like I'm with you. I had my return to glory thanks to my sister consolidating it, and I fucked that up again. Then I had
No,
to
you
crawl. I had to fucked it up. I had to crawl back to some place of at least some semblance of sanity. I got it back to a reasonable margin again, but I'm with you. Like for instance, I'm just learning about the ways in which you can use savings accounts, like just simple little tools and tricks, right? So I get my paycheck, right? I instantly take 100, throw it into my savings, right? Because one thing I learned that sometimes I have expenses that come out of my account, but when I'm caught in the grind of doing things, going to work, coming home, working on, just the daily grind, I'll forget that something's coming out of my account. So I go to my account and I see $100, but technically it's only $50 because there's a $50 payment that's going to come out soon, right? So I forget about it. And it's not all the time, but just those several moments you forget, you swipe for a little bit more than you got in there and you get overdrafted, right? So what I realized is if I just put that 100 in my savings right away and just count my check 100 less automatically just in the savings, that when those $15 Netflix payments come out, Amazon payments come out, I just have that in my savings and it just automatically tracks over. And it's not like it's a big trick or a big tool, but I just realized just for me to avoid that, oh my God, do I have enough money in my account? Just that little simple trick, like saved me so much stress in that regard. Because I realized for me, it's more about always maintaining an awareness of what I'm spending and where I'm spending it from. So it's not necessarily don't do certain things, but it's don't use that card 5 times in a row, your credit card. Because I got my city card got $1,000 limit, right? So I swiped that joint. Maybe I paid $50. I need to pay something $50. I swiped that joint. Then I pay. I remember Kenny told me this. You pay about what 35% over the minimum, right? So he said if your minimum's 20, you said if your minimum's $20 a month, give them 45.
Of course.
I remember that's what you told me. So I started doing that. So when the interest comes off, I'm still good in terms of having to make sure I'm still got the limit right. And then, like I said, just little subtle things like that. But it's just discipline. You be telling Kenny, you be telling people stuff, but you realize they lack your discipline. Like, you know what I'm saying? I realized that a long time ago. Like, you could tell somebody something, but if they don't have the same set of discipline, it's not going to apply to them.
So do you have overdraft protection? Yeah,
I have on my Virginia Credit Union and my Navy Federal, I got a credit line overdraft protection. I'm not talking about those cards. I'm talking about my I still unfortunately have a Wells Fargo card I got to get rid of. Because I have a credit card with them that I've been paying off slowly but surely. That was one of my worst ones because that was a credit card I was maxed out on. But I just been working on that one. I got it to a nice level right now. I should be able to get rid of them within the year if everything goes well.
You know, I tell
Wells Fargo out of my life altogether.
Okay, I tell everybody this: if you got a decent credit score, you got credit cards, and you get ready to run your credit card. Don't run the credit cards up. Go to the bank and get a personal loan.
Yeah. That's kind of what the credit lines are.
Because it's installment. Revolving credit will bring your credit down to the lowest. But if you take a loan out, and a loan is installments, it's a set payment. So you could lose, if you go out there and you got a $1,000 credit card limit, and you say, I'm going to spend $800 this month. Don't spend $800. Go get a personal loan instead. And then you see your credit score won't drop at all, like 10 points. But if you use that $800, you're going to drop 60, 70, 80 points.
Yeah. Well, I was working on making a couple of payments. I was making, bought a couple of things through my business, The World Ends on Monday, and I was trying to get the business credit established soon. I fell off that horse a little bit.
But get the business credit status. You got to have a decent credit score. You go to Bank of America.
Yeah.
Bank of America is giving business loans out like crazy.
You told me about that.
All you got to do is just you ain't even got to have a tax ID. You just need your social security number.
Yeah.
Because you can get what they call, there's different kind of business you can start, and that's a sole proprietor.
Yeah. Cole's a sole proprietor, right?
Right. So even though you get it as a sole
mine's an LLC.
An LLC is not a sole proprietor, but you can get it. You can get it as a sole proprietor underneath your social. You can get it. And then you could turn around and change it until LLC if you don't have all the credentials ready.
Yeah.
So you can call LegalZoom up, and they take care of all that for you. But I don't know if everybody want to. You could do it yourself, but you got to know what you're doing. But if you go to LegalZoom, they got all the paperwork ready.
Oh no, like my sister's boy Van got all that on lock. I just I go to him when I'm ready to do something. You know what I'm saying? He got he just he helping her out. She give me the information. She give me the game. Like I said, man, it's just different moves and different strategies that we got to work. I definitely want to talk more in depth about this so we can have a full vetted out discussion about how we need to do things and focus in on, like you said, building up a business, building up credit, getting opportunities, OPM, taking advantage of different things to achieve the goals and dreams that we got, man.
So like one thing about, I'm sorry, Louis.
No, go ahead, say what you was gonna say. I just got a quick question.
One thing I'm saying about business credit is good because if you you can get a $20,000 business credit card, and you go run it up, your credit score doesn't change.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, you told me about that.
You run a personal credit cards up, you're gonna have issue.
Yeah.
So if you got the credit score ready, you could just say, just go to Bank of America and start anything like I got a consulting company. Call up, get a tax ID number right on the phone, and it only takes you 2 minutes to call the place up and get a tax ID number. You take that tax ID number, go get you some license, take it to the bank. It's that simple. If you got a decent credit score, say I started an LLC, you can say, I got a corporation. You tell them about it, and they're just going to use your credit score.
Yeah.
Just to start that business. Once they see that, even though it's your credit score, you're not using your personal information. Now it's the business.
Gotcha.
But all they did is took the information just for you. Someone has to vouch for it.
Yeah.
Vouch for it, but even though you vouch for it, it's underneath a business name. So if that thing happened to go down, your credit don't go bad. The company goes. You remember Trump's filed bankruptcy what, 5, 6, 7 times?
7.
The thing is because he puts it underneath a business. That's why his personal stuff never gets touched.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know. I'm well aware. Shoot, man. Yeah. But definitely, man, we gotta have a whole finance discussion at some point. But we got some other stuff we want to talk about for sure, though.
Hey, I just want to say something. I just got a text from the. I got this app called Top Buzz. You know about that?
You told me about it earlier.
Now, this Top Buzz gives you everything the government doing, everybody. Well, anyway, I just got a text now that the IRS now if you go to the news, now you're gonna see it. But for some reason, Top Buzz be getting it first. And then right now, it's saying that the government just approved another stimulus package.
Really?
Okay.
I.e., we need y'all to shut the fuck up.
Right. Get back in your house.
Look, Republicans said we ain't gonna get rid of the president, but we hit y'all with some more money now.
All right.
So don't tell me the looters didn't get us nothing then.
Exactly, bro. Like, that's all they care about is the property, bro.
You just proved. So basically, hey, yeah, that's all we need to do is burn a couple joints down, lose some shit, get these white people a little nervous, and go write the checks out.
Like, bro, Target is closed now, son.
But you know what's funny? It's not even that. I know it's the fact. It's Trump's fault. This is we not gonna do nothing with him, but here, like, it's only because he's so crazy that they do this. It's not nothing we did. It's the fact that he responded the way he did.
What did Louis just say?
Trying to absolve him.
Yeah, this is them trying to get the heat off of them. Yeah. Yes, 100%.
Hey, Walt.
Yo,
I gotta apologize. I went way out there. You didn't tell me to come back, though.
What?
He's just He's commenting on Walt's disinterested face while we was talking. Nah, it's all good. I wanted to bring you. I told him I was bringing you on for that because that's it's like that's your wheelhouse, man. Like we need to soak that up. Like I said, man, my struggle because it's not like it's anything you haven't told me a million times before, Kenny. It's just I lack your discipline, bro.
But listen, I'm telling y'all, this is how I eat.
No, I understand. We need to learn how to eat. I just think we need to go in more depth. Like,
totally. So for real, the signee portion that's a lot of game right there.
Yeah, a little gem.
No, that's not even a little gem because I could totally see like there are leaps and bounds. Like working at a bank, you've seen people's credit scores just over a month. They're just like back to normal. Like they have an 800, and when I mean like they owed thousands, just transfer 10,000 from that account to the credit card that quick.
Well, Kenny, if you got some spots, hit your boy, young.
Right, like
I need a spot now.
Because
let me get this loan out so I can quit this job and we can grind towards the future, dog. That's it.
If you trying to get your personal, a little bit better, right? Say like you were able to get a card that's 2,000, right?
Yeah.
You had a signer that's already paying for 5, all right? So that's only 15 that you got to come up with theoretically if you even spend that much, but you know that you're only going to spend another 4, all right? You're only going to spend 4. All right, so that 500 that you already had is paying for that 4. You got 100 in the bank already, and then that person's credit score is already going up because the system is already showing like, oh, they're able to keep up with their payments, and that's it. You get paid, that other person gets their shit fixed. Everybody wins. Everybody's happy. But then you do the rotating shit. That's so smart.
Yeah, rotations.
So smart.
Rotations, man.
Like, hey, yeah, no, you do it for a 60-day period.
But you could do the rotation if you got 7 credit cards, you can rotate like hell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like you said, that's that 28 slots.
And be honest with you now, you say people got cars for 2,000, and I'm not trying to brag, but the minimum.
Yo, shit, Kenny.
I mean, look.
No, I'm trying to tell you. Listen, once you get the credit score, the banks that you go, like the Penn Fed, Navy Federal, they're gonna give you the minimum 15 to 20 bands.
Yeah,
easy.
Yeah, but you a different fish. Like you like King Tuna.
I told you discipline. It just requires
Right?
discipline,
Yeah.
man.
I hold up.
Like, look, that's my objective, Kenny. We got to get me a personal loan so I can quit this fucking job, work on nothing but the films, get this YouTube shit popping and up, and then we could all just start working on that shit. Get the merchandise out there moving, get everything we need to get the merch game going. Basically, like all these social influencers already doing. Like, we know the economic model. You know what I'm saying? Like,
become like them.
Lewis.
No, just make the moves. Like,
yeah, like
we see the move. What's up, Kenny?
What you was getting ready to say? We interrupt you, and I'm sorry. You was getting ready to say
it's little stuff. We'll talk about it later. I gotta talk to Joe once we get off this recording too. But y'all go ahead.
Yeah.
And we got to do is end the goddamn show and
sure.
stop recording, and we could talk.
Nah, it's not.
It's a podcast. We gotta keep recording.
Who say that?
Hey, Walt, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Your theory about the rubber bullets fell apart this week, dog.
Man, look,
them rubber bullets is fucking people upset.
Look, hey, I'm not. I can't even cape. I can't.
Well, I edited out every part except that last week.
Sorry.
Hey, you know one thing I noticed? I always notice that Slim never. You Slim. Yeah, you never sweat. Yo, you ever see him sweat? I'm like, damn, this dude don't worry about bread. He don't worry about nothing. He just, that's what it is.
You talking about Walt?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, Walt's a very chill person.
Yeah, I never see him.
I never seen him in a high strung. Only time I ever seen him high strung is director to actor. That's it. And it's just by him wanting to make sure he was doing right. So
yeah, he got a cool, calm, collective way. You know what I'm saying? Yo, if I can get your smoothness with Joe Black, I'm that dude.
Yeah. Well, my thing is this: it's oh man, Walt would be deadly if he had Lewis's voice, Yang.
No.
It'd be over. Would have been over a long time ago.
Lewis,
we just mixing the Africans together.
Walt, you actually bring shit when you show up to a party. Like you actually have something in your hand. A contribution towards the festivities. And so I'm just saying, like, that level of what do they call that? Is it not chivalry? What is it?
I don't know, decorum.
It's not decorum, like that level of decorum or manners. I wouldn't say manners. There's a word for that shit though.
Now listen, we on a podcast.
Not prestige.
Listen, we on a podcast. You have to break them words down for other people to understand that. You feel me? I'm not trying to be funny.
We got 10 viewers on each video.
Yo, I'm saying, if y'all keep talking all this stuff, and these people talk about it, what? I'm not watching their show no more.
This is the point. Like, I really want. I've watched that. I've done that. Because I'm pretty probably much the only one who's watched the majority of the episodes, and I struggle to dumb it down.
Not saying no, you don't have to dumb it down. It's not about dumbing. It's just reaching out to more people so they can look at it.
I got
you.
I understand.
Like, I understand. So more of a
like decorum means behavior in keeping with good taste and propriety.
Yeah.
So what's decorum? Yeah, I can understand that.
So just keep it in perspective. I think a lot of people will understand that more. You know what I'm saying? But if you say all these intelligent, big old 30-letter words and all this stuttered words, man, no, I'm just giving it.
Ain't no 30-letter words. It's only 26 of the alphabet, yeah?
Yo, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You got extra activity on the word.
Yo, that's the name of this podcast. He got extra activity on the words. That's the name of this podcast. He got extra activity.
If you do that, but see how we can sit here and talk and shoot rebuttals back with each other. There's a lot of people that can't comprehend that stuff. So if you
I
want
know.
more people to listen, you have to tune in. You could keep the same perspective, but get them to understand what you're talking about. Cause they be like, yo, they might hit that joint, hit pause.
Yeah. No, that's one of the things I've been trying with the show is to get a message into a moment on the show without it being said.
Let me tell you something. I told Joe this earlier, and this is for all y'all. Yo, I learned so much around all y'all. You have no idea. I know the lingo. This is stuff I didn't know. Even you too, Joe Black. It's a whole lot. Yo, Slim, I'm trying to tell y'all, there's so much I learned. I'd be like, I sit there and I'd be, damn. And this was over the period of years. And I'd be like, yo, I need to catch up. But I haven't told y'all this. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I can't even speak the same language. What the hell is going on? So I had to go back, do a little research. And when I come back and see you, I'm like, yeah, what y'all talking about now? Let's do it.
Look, that's how I feel when you and Chris is talking about cameras, bro.
Me and Chris?
Yeah. I know enough. I know about getting my shots and what I want, but in terms of when y'all talking about, they just released this C300 with the series lens and all. I don't know none of that shit. Right?
Yeah, but I learned, just being around all y'all at my age, you have no idea how my vocabulary went from this big to this big. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
And because I was educated. Your guys went to school. I went only the 12th grade and I went to trade school. You know what I'm saying? That was years ago. Damn. So y'all made me catch up, and that's why I love being around y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I always learn. And you know what? None of your guys, no matter what, your circle, whoever you're talk with, I have respect, because when I hear them talk, when I hear all your talk, I'm like, these are some educated dudes, man. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It drives me, and I'm like, man, I can't let them see how dumb I am. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man, we know you got the wisdom in the game, young.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I learned a lot from you, man, just about being a manager of people and having the control of the situation. So like I said, man, I think that's one thing about being on set with everybody here and everybody we've ever worked with. I think everyone has brought something besides what we're doing to set. You know, whether it be an energy, like Roberto's energy is infectious. So is Nick's or Nathan's. You know what I'm saying? You know, just the chill factor that Lewis and Walt bring to set. You know, just never stressing over nothing. And then it's just I just think everyone. I can only think of two people or individuals that I brought to set or I've tried to work with that I knew was wrong right away.
I already know who you're thinking about.
Or not right away necessarily, but it didn't work all the way out.
Yo, I remember.
Now one of these niggas' names start with a J. Y'all know him.
Yeah.
What's his
I
name?
forgot his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah. That's who it was.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember him.
And then an actress that I tried to use but didn't work out. That's the only ones. That's pretty good considering all the things we've done together.
That's not bad, actually.
Yeah.
And you know what? Your guys know how to collectively bond without cursing the next person out. Like, hey, listen, we need to get on the next. It's not about cursing a person out, none of that, or fighting like that. Yo, y'all fight with words. You know that? Your guys fight with words and make another person to understand, hey, this is what I'm trying to say, my dude. You get what I'm saying? And that's how you fight, though.
Yeah.
That's how you fight.
I agree, man.
Intelligent, bro.
I think that's the way you have the collaborative effort on set, man. I don't think you need that antagonistic. We had one dude bring that antagonistic nature, and he fucked the setup that day he was there. We was on Dead Cells. Y'all know who the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, like, I know exactly who you're talking
about. Yeah, and Kenny said it. I remember Kenny was upstairs filming that shot with the jib between the legs where he falls in the hallway, and Kenny was like, "Oh, I know what's going on. He a director, you a director. That's why it's not working."
It's not working, though.
He's like, "It's not working because you both directors." And I was like, "Well, I thought he could be a producer." No. He's a director. I said, "Okay." And after that, it was just easy. I was just like, "He's right. He has his directing style, which is more authoritative than me."
Yeah.
I just think that you know, like I said, man, we gotta get back on set, bro. I'm itching. I'm like, I need that shit. Like, we gotta get working on something, dog.
You know, what you got to do is, man, everybody has to be designated to a position and play your position to the fullest so you can bring it to a whole.
I
That's
think
all you got to do. Man.
I agree. I think Dead Cells, Woken the Bridge, we've gotten the facet of pre-production and production with a set group of individuals to a point where we could say, if we needed to go bigger with it, we can. I'm comfortable with that. Where I think the last 3 projects have sort of waned a little bit is post-production.
No, it definitely.
Yeah, that's the next layer to it. Having the editor locked in before we film anything, having them on set, as Kenny's mentioned before, having promoters on set, having a real, like, this nigga, I still can't believe this nigga shot the behind the scene footage that day and rocked off with the shit. I never got that shit from the day we shot in the restaurant.
Dang.
I'm still mad about that because that shoot was crazy. We did that shit in 4 hours.
Yeah.
That needs to be a behind the scenes little documentary film about how we shot that episode because it was wild. And I loved every moment of it. So I'm still mad about that. But all of those behind the scenes post-production things, that is where the next layer and level to it is. And like I was talking about Kenny this with y'all before, but also just making sure we're keeping track of budgeting properly too. We need that person.
Yes.
So budget, post-production, and then promotion. Those are the 3 facets or the 3 people or 3 things we need to get and work on with people. I got some people in my hat, some ideas, some potentials. But yeah, I think those are the only components to it where I can't do all those things. Like I can't be the dude worried about social media while I'm directing. But we need a dude on set focusing on social media.
Hey, you know what I was saying today? And Walt might agree with this. We did 3 shows in 1 show today. You get what I'm saying? Yo, we talked about crazy. We talk about shooting. And we talk about this epidemic thing.
Yeah.
And my man, real smooth Joe Black did a move on it. Joe Black did a move on it. Be like, hold up, dog. I'm tired right now. I'm gonna take a 30-minute nap. And we was like, yo, hey, you gonna look at the show later, Black, and be like, what? You gonna see a Walt got on you so bad, dog. It was I'm blaming on Walt.
It's all good.
Yo, when you look at the show later, you gonna be like, what? My nigga.
I got a news flash. Neither one of these niggas look at the show later. it don't matter. I'm trying to tell you, look, we gonna be chilling somewhere down the line, be like 45 or whatever, right? And somebody go pull some old shit we said off of these podcasts and be like, Jordan, did you say this? It sounds like some shit I said back in 2020. 2020 was crazy.
Hey, man, I'm only supposed to be a guest. I'm only supposed to be 20. You got 20-minute slots, man.
Shoot, man.
Y'all gave me the premiere. Y'all gave me the premiere shot today.
I mean, we usually go for like 2 hours, 30 minutes. So
yeah, man. Look, when you a guest, you just kick.
You out here rapping, man.
Exactly, yo.
We can't just have a whole bunch of people on as guests, though.
No,
I think it's more effective in person.
Got to be top notch. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I think the Henny
no.
anything is possible. I think, for instance, guests are going to be a crucial factor going forward when we get back in person.
Yeah, just in general, it's cool to
Patron
and the Patron.
Who drinking like that, Kenny? I thought you couldn't drink like that.
You got water, my guy.
We had a party. I just left that stuff been sitting there, bro.
Got you.
We had a party and a get together, man. I brought some stuff, man. You know me.
Well, I know that was a long time ago.
Nah, it was like this was like a month ago. My wife's birthday.
Y'all had masks on?
My wife? No, we didn't have no. Man, we had like 8 people here.
Oh, okay.
No, just no. I'm not doing it.
Where is Walt? Are we just at a different angle than usual?
No,
in his room?
He's gone, though.
No, I know that, but this don't look like the same place he usually is when we film.
It's not. I think it's a different angle. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yo, Walt is rich, man, and nobody know about it. He just be fake.
His face disagrees with that.
He think he takes somebody's plane.
First off, I don't know who's rich or who's Walt.
Yo, are you in your parents' house?
No.
He looked like
Oh,
a-
you just got a different angle going today?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Well, I thought this place was a lot smaller, dog. Where you?
Yeah, no boy.
I thought like the door is like usually directly off camera. I didn't know it was a little walk for you. I ain't saying it's a mansion. I'm just saying I thought it was a shoebox. It looks like at least a box, just a normal box.
It is enough to be buried in. How about that?
Yeah, man.
real good up there. Yo, y'all see this joint on there? This joint is a box. You feel me?
Where you at?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. When you ready, you got to take us. You got to give us a virtual tour of the studio. See
Oh,
what
no. Y'all don't want a virtual tour. This shouldn't take 2 seconds.
Yeah.
This joint is not big. This joint is real small.
The other house was bigger.
My wife's sleeping right over there.
Said it like it was a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah,
Like she's sleeping right next to me.
Yeah,
Nah. I'm only playing. It's like 4,900 square foot.
4,900 square foot.
So basically, another big ass house, Kenny.
That is a big ass house. That's damn near 5,000 square feet, Kenny.
For real, man.
It's all right.
You missed it by 100.
I borrowed it. I didn't buy it. I'm just renting it out right now. Yo, we got to rent because my wife's job. Did I tell you she's top secret clearance? She worked for United States Air Force. Man.
Oh, where?
What's up?
I didn't know she had top secret clearance.
Yeah, she got top secret now. It took about a year to get that shit.
Well, shoot, tell her to send out a coded message if she get word of what they about to do to citizens. Yeah.
Hey,
Son, if she would have heard me tell you that, she would be flipping on me.
Yeah. I got some homies with top level clearance though.
Yeah, she's up there, bro. She worked for the United States Air Force, man, for the judges.
Oh, okay.
How comfortable? That's what you're telling us.
So she know about the dirt up in that joint.
Me, I need some bread. My wife don't. I can't see how she got that job with my background.
So I'm dirty over here.
Kenny's like, how she passed the background test though?
I don't know, man. Somebody did something. Or they setting us up. This shit crazy.
Man.
I'm like, you got what? Nah. I said, they know I'm married to you? She said, yeah. Oh, this is set up. Oh, shit. They set me up.
Oh, man. I guess it's just hard to believe that you're a changed man, Kenny, huh?
Hell, what? Hey, hey, Walt. What's my name in the show?
Lenny.
Lenny. My nigga Lenny Samuels, man. Lenny Samuels.
Yo, what does Lenny Samuels do? Nobody knows, right?
Nobody knows what Lenny Samuel does.
And hey, to this day, that's what it is. I gotta stay incognito, whatever you call it.
Incognito.
Yeah, incognito, man. I gotta. A lot of people.
Don't worry, we don't find out what he does in second season either.
Hey, I told them. They asked me, "Yo, so what do you really?" They asked me the same question that Walt asked me in the show. What do you really do? I don't know, bro. I just try to get money.
Nah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. I said, I get money. That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what I tell people when they ask me. I stop trying to figure it out.
Hey, what do you do? I get money.
That's why I was like, hey. They say, what does Kenny do for a living? I was like, he got money. That's all I tell people. He get money. He a hustler.
That's it.
But you know what they think I am? Be honest. You know what they think I am? They think I'm a straight drug dealer.
They've had the thought. The thought has crossed my mind before. So I know it's crossed somebody else's mind before.
Anytime Kenny bring up something, I could get that off the truck for you. I'll be looking at him like,
oh, that just fell off the truck. That just fell off the
Is this
hustle? It fell off the truck.
Now I remember we had one of our friends. They were going to edit Dead Cells originally for us, but he was going to wait to California, and we had met with him, and we was at the Wendy's across from Mason, Kenny.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Our boys start with the word M.
Yeah.
But the letter. So I remember that joint, and Kenny, brought up a little bit of his background and stuff, and his face when Kenny brought up the background was, oh my God, are the police? Like he thought a raid was about to start. That's what his face looked like. And I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, and he's like, did you know? I was like, yeah, I knew this shit. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a flying
y'all
fuck.
Y'all had to see Chris' face when I told him.
Oh, I wanted to be there for that, yeah.
Yo, that face, Chris. yo, nobody got. Chris was like,
Chris thought that was only some movie shit.
yo, I said, yo, welcome to my world, man. He was like, nah, not you. He said, you don't even act like.
Not you.
Yo, yeah, I've been, yo, come on, man, I've been through it, bro. And I'm not scared to tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? It don't bother me.
No, it don't bother me either.
What you do after it, you know what I'm saying? How you make a change after it.
That's all I ever looked at, man. That's why I understand most of people's perspective on shit be bullshit. Because I'm like, most people don't even believe in redemption.
Yeah.
Or changing your life or a better path. That's why we got cancel culture. People think you got one shot and it's over.
If I never told y'all what I'm doing and how I am, my perspective of showing y'all what I am, y'all wouldn't think so because you're like, you don't act like that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, now, first of all, don't get it twisted, Kenny. I knew he was a straight nigga when we met. I said, oh, this is a nigga right now. Wegman's talking to me. I was like,
yo, why everything go down at Wegmans, bro? Y'all remember Big Swole cameraman? Josh?
Oh, yeah.
Josh and Kenny got the same background, bro. And when Josh told me at Wegmans, I was like,
yeah.
Not you, bro.
Nah, man, I'm not shocked. I'm never shocked because I've been around these people before.
Who's Josh?
You never worked with him.
Cameraman.
You never worked with him. He's ill with it though. He was doing films in China for a second, but he's a cameraman. When we started, we were at the film club at Mason, he was there, right? Or at the film club at Nova.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, so when Chris started the film club at Nova, which is where we kind of all linked up realistically, which is still kind of ill when you think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Josh was a part of that, but he would just bring us on. He was always trying to film gangster shit, and we was the only black people he knew.
Yeah.
So we the only black people he knew, so he was always putting us in his hood movies and shit. Me and Lewis got shot in a tunnel in DC one night by this dude named Hez.
Yeah, that was a really dope scene.
Oh yeah, what was the? Yeah, I forgot. I got the picture. Yeah,
man, I want that scene, but I remembered the clip. There was an email you sent to me way back, and I found it. It's a 8-minute clip, and what's that dude? Philip, what's his name? Is the other black dude? Martin. Was it Philip?
There was another black dude there?
Was he in that movie?
Yeah, he was always working with Josh.
Oh.
Who is Josh?
I actually don't
kind
know.
of a heavy set dude a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him. Well, Josh, like I said, he's an old film person of ours.
Josh is one of our boys, yeah.
You know, he went on to bigger and better things with his swole ass.
Yeah, man.
But we used to always call him the swollest cameraman because this nigga just
Paul
like
Martin,
this.
That's it.
Oh, Paul.
Yeah.
I know Paul, nigga. Like, what?
We're not going to talk about him.
I seen him on Instagram with him the other day. I seen him on Instagram with Josh the other day. I was like, Josh, you still got this nigga in your life? No disrespect, Paul, but you know how you are, nigga. I was just like... But
you don't even need to know who he is.
Yeah, but now we used to make fun of Josh because we had this one shot, right? I think it was me and Lewis had to walk down the hallway, and Josh is in the middle of the hallway with a camera. So we cool until we get by this nigga because he's so swole we can't get past him in the hallway and shit. I'm like, bro, you fucking up the shot with your swole ass.
Josh built like this, bro.
Just a stock box ass nigga. Right?
Strong.
Yeah, but I knew Josh. I knew Josh had been running them, doing a little bit of extracurricular activities at some point.
Yeah, he broke it all down one night.
So, did this nigga drive like an old Cadillac?
He drove like an old drug dealer car.
That's all you need to know.
He lived out that joint.
Yeah, man.
Hey, yo, this is not to be funny, guys. This is going to be your best podcast that y'all did, just because y'all got me on set. You feel me?
I can believe it.
The people gonna be like, yeah, they brought up some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
They brought drugs. They brought all that shit up.
I know we're gonna get more people to watch it just because all the people on my friends list who know you just gonna be like, Kenny's on there.
Hey, there you go.
And they're gonna want to check it out, man.
The title for real should be like a talk with the Godfather. That's always what I seen Kenny as. He's just like,
yeah, same, man. That's what I said. I completely agree. I want to get the move shifted.
I tell you how to move. I tell you to move. Do not move the way I tell you to move.
Hey, 100%.
Yo, you know what I told? What big dude?
Hey,
Walt, I tell you when I come in. I tell you to sit. Did I tell you sit there?
Sit where I tell you to sit. Yeah, man.
I tell you to sit.
Nah, man. Shoot.
My brothers seen that thing. All my brothers, they laughed so hard. They laughed. You think you that dude? I said, you told me to do that like that.
Nah, man. That shit is funny. Yeah, man.
No, they seen the way he acted, and they said he acted. I said he's acting, fool. He ain't gonna. You might get your head cracked.
Nah, man. That shit was funny to me, man. I loved it. Oh man, damn, we gotta get back on set, bro.
Yeah, man. Seriously,
gotta get back to work on that joint, dog. Oh man, yeah. Fuck.
I know y'all thought I was dead and long gone. No, I ain't going nowhere.
Nah, man, I knew everybody was still there. Like,
exactly.
At least I would expect a phone call if we was going to abandon life goals. At least give me a phone call if you abandoning your life goal and mission. Hey, I'm done with that whole film joint.
Hey, man, I don't think this is gonna work out. I'm gonna go sell tigers.
Yeah, you know all those dreams we talked about? Yeah, fuck all that. Got a girl in that.
Yeah, man.
That'd be killing moves, bro.
Yeah, yo, shit, man. I could 100% understand
it. Dang, can we?
Kentucky, man.
Nah, man, we got to boycott.
I'm trying to leave that Kentucky alone.
Nah, man.
I got my boycott list ready, son. I ain't buying shit from none of these motherfuckers no more.
No.
Eating rice for the next few months.
Yeah, man. Shoot.
Hey,
that Chick-fil-A hurt me, but I already knew what it was with them.
Hey, that's it.
Oh man, yo,
he gonna eat rice all day, easy. Yo, do not eat Chinese food, though.
I ain't had that shit in a minute, bro.
Don't never eat there again. I'm telling you, once they find out that Trump said the Chinese people do that, you see a lot of Chinese food places closed, right? They open back up. They gonna get our ass, dog. Don't do it. You're gonna go down, dog.
They looking for revenge.
Don't do it. Don't go with no soy sauce, no duck sauce, no sauce.
I don't know how we can do that. They make half the shit we use.
I mean,
I ain't need no restaurant, bro.
Kenny said not me, and he got an iPad right now that say made in China on it.
They didn't make that shit
say made in China.
I built this joint.
The iPad.
Oh,
yeah.
He said, "Get at me."
China.
Nah, you know what really gets me though is the way he holds the podium when he says it.
Yeah. Nah, that joke was funny. I think he sent me the joint where he was reading through. We gotta respect this and that, and then like a Muslim part came up, and he did like a pause. And then someone was like, when you looking at the speech, wondering who the fuck wrote this shit. So now he was talking about houses of worship. We have to respect churches, synagogues, and mosques.
Muslims. It doesn't even say Muslims.
Nah, man. That nigga, man.
You have to respect the Islam.
Look, man. He hate everybody that ain't sucking his dick.
No, absolutely not.
Ooh,
yeah, man.
You said that on the cast?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, no,
we not monetizing yet.
We wildin'.
I'm not part of this.
You only got to edit when you monetize.
I'm not going down with this shit. He's by himself. His name
is Kenny ain't trying to get canceled.
Shoot, cancel me, please. I ain't trying to be a part of this shit no more, yeah.
Yo, this shit will not make the web.
This?
I'm waiting to get canceled.
Oh, no, this is getting uploaded like shit.
Aspiring local film maker Joe Lawrence.
Yeah. Nah, I wonder, what's Kenny talking about? Because I know I've written way more crazy shit than that. Like, I know I read a whole post. I got it in my memories. It's gonna pop up sometime this year. I wrote a whole post like 3 years ago how Trump is the legitimate.
Whoa.
I ain't for all this censorship, Kenny. I wrote a whole speech calling Trump a nigger.
Wow.
He's the first nigga I ever seen
Whoa.
in my history of existence.
God damn, we going down.
Nah, like I wrote, but you understand, I wrote this on Facebook and posted it like 3 years ago, bro. And then like after that,
I already got
association.
This ain't gonna get us canceled for like another 5 years, bro. They're gonna look back.
first of all, look, we want that Trump supporter heat. They'll get us buzzing out here.
For real.
Yeah,
We need some Trump supporters.
I can't
Yeah.
be canceled 5 years from now.
Buzz.
Look, man. If they come and grab me out the house for this podcast, then they was gonna grab me for something else. That's all I know.
Yeah.
They had me on the list a long time ago, young. Shoot, man. That's one thing I saw about this week, man. I had to release a lot of anger this week, man.
So who you slap? Who you slap?
Nah. Personal anger, man. Just seeing everybody's timelines start to look like mine.
Yo, if you talking violence, you going down.
Nah, I never talk violence on camera.
So you want to beat everybody up?
Nah, it was just because you know me, I keep it real on my posts. I always been talking about this shit. Just to see this week how like people was really acting like this shit hasn't been a problem for the past 6 years since Trayvon or Mike Brown, at least, you know, like and then that part of me was just like, yo, man, you can't like hold anger over that shit because you wasn't the first nigga to realize either. So I just had to let that part of it go. And then, because like I said, there's also people in my messages who ain't black asking me questions and wanting to know a whole bunch of stuff.
Hey,
and, you know, I had to gain up the, I guess, the resolve to answer those questions sincerely, man. Because a part of me just wanted to be like, what the fuck? How dare you? Like,
I'm going to say this. Hold on. Look.
Get a sip of that honey real quick.
You talking real dangerous and I got to go. Yo, he get ready to get us off.
Nah, it's all good. I'm a
what the hell is coming over my house?
Helicopters, Kenny.
Yeah, you ain't know they sending helicopters.
That's that bullshit.
They sending helicopters low to scare protesters. Yeah, man. Scare tactics everywhere.
Hey, they know I ain't gonna be a lot of y'all. I'm not. You know me. I'm going to war. Bring them things out. Y'all better have them things ready.
Look, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready, Kenny. That's all I'll tell you on that one.
Yo, I show y'all something right now. Y'all might run. Y'all be like, that dude was a fool. What?
I'm not. I definitely blurred on the podcast, though.
Yo, I got my man to go to the store. I didn't do it. I gave him to go to the store. Yo, I need these bullets, need these, that. I need 100 rounds of each one. I'm not playing. Yo, I'm not playing.
I'm with you, dog. I'm a 2A nigga for all day right now.
I need 3 clips for each joint, 17 rounds. You're gonna get the business. Yo, I am not.
With my homie Webby back in the day, you gonna think them Bin Laden people got the chopping at you.
They're chopping all right. But you know what? When I go down, I'm taking them a few with me.
Oh yeah, look, man, look, that's what it's gonna be, dog. Yeah. Like I said, now I mean, that's an interesting question. I just want
to let you know, I'm just playing, man. I'm being.
Kenny, we know you're joking, Kenny. We know you're joking.
You know I'm playing.
Kenny, know the shit tap.
How to do it?
Oh man, son. But nah, man.
What do they always say? You have the right to remain silent.
Nah, Kenny.
Yeah. Well, lately they just been silencing niggas by killing them. So we just go and silence this nigga.
I understand, officer.
Exactly.
I mean, we get grown men killed with the cuffs on. So
y'all be like, get out of here.
Shoot, man. Look, all you gonna have is one of these little kids walk into that crowd where they protest and start dumping on people.
Hey,
it's gonna be a tragedy for real.
Do any one of y'all have kids yet?
No.
Hell to the nah. Shit, let me not go so bad on that.
And y'all what? Y'all past 25?
Well, I'm 30, Kenny. So my sister, my niece is born though. I told you about that, right?
No. I said you.
No, not at all.
What about you, Walt?
29.
28.
28.
Nueve.
Oh,
There you
yeah,
go.
29. I know we speaking Spanish out here, but okay.
Oh, oye, ¿qué pasa? Negro, papi, mami, dame, mami.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oy.
I mean, look, if I want to have kids, I'm gonna have to plan for that, bro. I'm trying to get my shit together right now.
So, 31, 29, 25.
27.
There.
7.
In like 2 semanas.
You
I'll add
27?
subtitles later.
Right. Yeah, man. No kitties for us, bro.
Yeah, man.
Wow, hey, y'all doing great because I think I have mine at 25, 26. I started pumping them out. Yo, I was pumping out so bad. Woo! My wife was like, "Baby, please, baby, please." I was pumping them. Here, take this.
Take that.
Take this. Shut up. Take that.
Shoot. Like I said, man, ain't nothing wrong with Prosper, yo. Like,
we gotta have a real talk. Yeah, one of your podcasts gotta be a sex show. How we take
Nah, that's gonna get us canceled.
we could get graphic on one of the drinks.
Yo,
we got an episode like that in the second season about sex.
Right up. Hey Joe Black, that's you, my man.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Yo, take it easy on the white girl. Think we don't know Black?
Kenny putting the false narrative.
Oh man, you pushing that fake news out here,
right?
That propaganda. You got the propaganda.
I got pictures, dog.
I got pictures, bro.
You got pictures.
I don't even got pictures, bro. You get pictures.
I got pictures and videos, though.
let me get them.
Shoot, man. Shit.
You string them out. Oh, that's Joe Black. String them out. They knocking on the door.
That's like, James Black.
Please open up. Going down.
Like they Goldilocks looking for porridge.
Yeah. Shoot. Panties instantly hit the floor.
Hey, yo. Black was like, stop knocking on my door. Let me get some of that.
What baby said, had to knock on my dorm room, I ain't let him in.
Yeah.
You know that's cap. I had a few.
Nah,
man. I know you had I bet you done had some yeah. Nah. You got some stories. You got
I bet you had some, yeah.
Not on Not on camera. Hey,
with this current climate, Kenny, we got to forget about all that, dog.
This thing says REC over here in the corner.
Yeah.
All right, Black, take it easy, man. I'm not getting a conspiracy charge with you, though. And you know what? I'm not taking that.
I'm not taking that.
Yeah, man, you never know, man. Somebody could have seen Lou with a white woman and no choice but to vote for Trump after that.
Hey.
They had the Hillary shirt on and everything. Then they saw that nigga was like, no, not this.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, we definitely
Wait a minute. Whoa,
oh, word. I feel you. I know.
Wait a minute, whoa. If I can remember, you got a little bit in your closet too, though.
What's up?
Wait a minute. I remember that. Y'all don't remember?
Not I, Fly. Not I.
Nah.
Yeah, when some chick came to the set.
Oh, you talking about? Yeah, that's a
wrap.
You
know
what?
Remember?
Hold on, who you talking about?
If it was any chick, if it was any chick, that was my girl at the time.
Okay, I remember. I was
my
like,
girl
wait
no
a minute
longer.
now. Don't get me wrong.
Did she come to set before?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
Well, yo, he had to give her a couple of hamburgers. If he didn't,
I can't remember.
Wait, Kenny, what'd you say?
Yeah, if he didn't give us a couple of hamburgers, he was in trouble. Yeah. I remember them on the set.
You talking reckless?
Where we getting these hamburgers?
Yo, he was on. She came to the set. Did she come to the set, Walt?
No, I can't even remember. But
once or
Oh,
twice.
I can't remember either.
Now you want to.
If she did come, we ain't gotta worry about her no longer. It's fine.
Yeah, all over with.
Yeah.
And we know about Joe Black. Joe Black just.
I ain't never brought no joint to set.
Nah, you ain't had to, Joe.
Because they already on set.
They be on set, and you know what? They be on set, then they end up offset with them. I don't know how they do it.
Offset with him. That's a bar.
Offset with them. Like, yo,
They be on set, they end up
Offset
offset
with them.
Yo,
oh man,
he packing up to go home, and he packing her up. I'm like, yo, slow down.
oh man. Oh, Lewis was like, "Don't y'all believe y'all lying eyes?"
Okay. I got a camera, dog. I got a camera. Watch it. I got footage.
That'd be funny if he just had 8 minutes of Lewis trying to back with a joint when he was on set. You know he's getting recorded.
Yo, what's her name? Katie? What was her name? Katie? No.
It's
Who?
We gonna
Black. What Black? Black. What was that girl name?
We're gonna leave it.
We can't say names, Kenny. This is being recorded.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
That's a fake name. That's a stage name.
Oh, James Black? Yeah, that's a fake name.
No, it's a person I just named. You remember?
On what set? What was we working on at the time?
How many sets we got, dog?
We got quite a few.
3 in the
Keep
chamber.
up, baby. Keep up.
Yo, you heard him? What set? That means every set, my dude.
Damn. Out here.
Nah. That is false news, my guys.
Fake news.
I'm just
it's everywhere.
Hey, listen, that's just that black. That's just the yak talking.
I know, Kenny. We all know it's the yak talking at this point, Kenny. We got no structure to this podcast at all.
On the miles in that yak.
I'm gonna just have to post in the description talking shit for the first hour, 30 minutes.
Hey, how real niggas do.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I think it's good to have some laughs after this week, yo.
Yeah, no, it's needed.
Yo, we need that though, man.
It's been stressful.
I completely agree, man. I completely agree.
Yo, Joe Black got some things to talk to you, Joe. Let me get upset here.
Let me, man. You know where I'm at.
Oh, yeah, man. Everything can be on the pod.
Yeah.
I put it all on me, not y'all. I put it all.
Is there anything specific y'all want to talk about regarding everything else? I wanted to talk about qualified immunity.
Yes.
That's Walt's corner right there. What's up? I did read that thing you posted though.
That's good.
What you said it was?
Qualified immunity.
Why? What?
You gonna explain it to us real quick?
It's a legal doctrine that police use in court so that they essentially don't have to go through trial.
Qualified immunity.
Qualified immunity, yes. So essentially, it was designed for for government officials so that they can stay out of frivolous lawsuits. But over the years, it was enacted in 1967. So over the years, the Supreme Court has heard cases about police brutality, and they've typically ruled in the favor of police. Now, for qualified immunity, there are 2 questions that they had to ask in order for them to be granted qualified immunity, and that was whether or not any reasonable person would be able to see whether or not they are breaking the law or violating somebody's constitutional rights, and reasonable person being a normal everyday citizen, and whether or not they knew, and whether or not the police knew their actions were in violation of that law. From 2009, the Supreme Court has allowed courts to just skip the first question and just ask whether or not police knew that they were breaking the law, because there wasn't a legal precedent telling them that what they were doing was wrong.
So you saying that they got diplomatic immunity?
In a sense, yes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say that the Fourth Amendment doesn't work. It's it's essentially saying you can use your Fourth Amendment, but if you don't know what the Fourth Amendment is, we're gonna take advantage of that. And guaranteed, if you walk up to anybody and ask them, "What's your Fourth Amendment right?" they wouldn't be able to justify it. But we can see police
The right to
brutality.
due process.
It's illegal search and
And
seizure.
illegal searches.
Yeah. So it's
that's like a diplomatic immunity because they use that when they come over here and they don't know nothing.
yes,
That's just, it's in that kind of perspective.
it is.
Yeah.
It's worse in a sense because a cop can do something and you can get a really good prosecutors like, you know what, I'm going to take you to task. You deserve to be held accountable.
Right.
If they go to court and a judge sees that a similar case was ruled in a particular fashion, they're just going to go in that direction because they don't want to do the work. Or they know that it's just going to be overturned eventually.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So basically, ignorance of the law works for police.
Exactly.
Absolutely. But also the Supreme Court has allowed it so that they don't have to go to court essentially because they can get everything dropped before discovery. And discovery is when everything starts coming to light, you know?
So basically, without a video.
Exactly. Without evidence, without, interviews, they can have the case dismissed because without discovery. Like,
That don't even make sense. How you gonna act ignorant when your job is literally to enforce the law? So you gotta know the law to enforce.
Right.
That don't make no type of sense.
Now it's designed so that if like I know I'm saying a lot of all my hashtags are end qualified immunity, but it's across the board for all government employees. So it's like if it hits one, it's going to hit all of them. But there needs to be provision specifically for law enforcement within the country so that if these things ever were to happen, they can be held personally liable.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I was just listening to Andrew Yang. He was talking about over the last 10 years, 8 years, the New York City government has paid out over I think they said $1 billion, $2-3 billion in civil suits for police brutality.
Exactly.
So Andrew was just talking about how taxpayers shouldn't be paying for that shit, man. Like we said, have that shit come out their pension fund, bro.
I got a
need
question.
To reroute some things, man.
So I mean, I could have easily figured this out by doing some Google, but it slipped my mind. So you know, we got all these celebrities donating to basically bail out protesters if they get arrested. Like The Weeknd gave $500K, Drake gave $100K. Doesn't that money just go right back into the police department?
No.
Like if you bail somebody out, aren't you just giving money to the police department to get your mans out of jail?
Actually,
where does that money go? That's my question.
Go to government. It is a means of income for local municipalities. So that is one of their sources. So is ticketing and citations and stuff of that nature. So the bonds do go towards the legal system. So it is a fee paid to the government. Yes.
But it doesn't go directly to the police department in which okay. Well, all right.
It goes into the legal system and they distribute the funds how they want. Because one reason most people are in jail is because they couldn't pay their bond.
Right.
So that's literally most of the reason people are incarcerated. There's people incarcerated who don't even have a trial date, never got one. They just locked up right now.
In the grand scheme of things, that money is still going back into the police department because that's where we spend a shit ton of money on.
Oh, 100%. You know, they got some loopholes in that joint. Look, when the DOJ did the study on Ferguson in Baltimore, they realized that a lot of the small minor offenses, like there was a ticketing for having your pants sagged in Ferguson. It's called it goes under disorderly conduct, but it's something to do with looking a certain way or looking. It's like what is it? Indecent exposure on some levels to be sagging. So all these little minor infractions and citations that they would overly give to the black community were a heavy source of income for the police departments.
Right.
So they realized that one of the ways in which they funded most of the activities or their extracurricular activities, like the captain buying a bunch of shit he don't need, was the fact that they were over ticketing one section of the population, i.e. over harassing them and writing them tickets for a lot of bullshit, man. Like, oh, you got tail light out, write the ticket up. You get to the crib, tail light fine.
Bro, my first ticket was some bullshit. First ticket I ever got when I started driving was a failure to yield at a red light because I didn't come to a full stop. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, that sounds like some bullshit right there to me.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's all the way bullshit. I was told my tail light was out before. I was like, why you pulling me over? It's like 12:30. I was already plus 18, past curfew, no curfew for me, whatever. These motherfuckers was like, hold on. Let me put Kenny back in this joint, unmute him. Oh, shit. All right, there you go.
I was making a lot of noise.
Yeah, I had to mute you because you was doing stuff in the background. But yeah, man, like what was I saying?
How much your first ticket? You was like 18 plus.
Oh no, when I got pulled over, I think I was with a homie. We was going to Walmart because me and my family were moving, so we was going to Walmart to find boxes. You know, you gotta go in there late at night because they cracking all the stuff open. So we was going to get boxes, and we made that turn that goes past that one hotel, and you make the left into the back of Walmart. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There's that hotel right there, and you know it's towards the garden section of Walmart. You drive past it. We was right there on that strip. Got pulled over. Cop was like, "Yo, I just pulled you over because your tail lights out. What you guys doing out here tonight?" We was like, "We just going to get some boxes because we moving, whatever, right?" Ready? And I remember that shit. It fucked with me because, when I got home, I told my boy, I was like, "Yo, man, take a look at this light. I gotta see which one I gotta get fixed." Because he didn't even say which light, and he just gave us a warning. But when I got home, my lights were fine. So he really just pulled niggas over to see if we was nigging. And when he found out,
us before?
That happened, yeah, several times. Like I said, we all have stories like this. Like, you know, that's why, Kenny, did you want to say goodnight for the night, bro?
Why you say that?
Because you're playing a whole video while we're trying to have conversation. It's cool. I mean, we've had a convo. We could get a further joint going later. You want to wrap it up? Because we still got some stuff we got to talk about.
He gone off that mouth.
Yeah, Kenny. You know what, Kenny? Have a good night, Kenny.
He's
a legend.
You look like he about to go to sleep anyway. It's past your bedtime, Kenny. It's like 10. Oh, he called.
No, I didn't.
He's still
Yeah. My thing said low battery, 10%.
Got you. It's all good, man. We got you in for the first hour 30.
No, she sent me a picture of the grandbaby. I didn't know y'all could hear that shit.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, man. We can hear everything.
That's Devin, kid.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go, man. Nice talking to you guys.
All right, nice talking to you too,
I'm
man.
Give me a special invite again, man.
We'll do, man. We definitely gonna get you back on here. We're gonna have some ready questions so we can prepare ourselves credit wise next time.
Yeah. Yo, what we gotta do? We gotta have a credit or podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Credit cast.
Yeah.
Credit cast.
Oh,
credit cast to get the OPM.
Got you.
I'm with it. That's a special episode.
That's how we could do it, man, for sure, yo.
Yeah. Yo, I give you some knowledge on that, man. But I'm gonna holler at your dog, man. Yo, guys, peace out, man.
All right, have a good night, man. Thanks for joining us. Peace.
Later, man.
Gone off that mouth and that yak.
Ooh, I heard that.
But yeah, I forgot what we was talking about.
Let me see.
Yeah.
All right, good night, Kenny. Thanks, man.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody got a story, man. He's still on this joint, ain't he?
I removed her. I think. Zoom fucking up.
Like, you gonna pop back in like the yak. All right, I'm gone for real now, y'all.
I don't know. Does it? It won't let you get rid of the box, huh?
What the
That's
total
not.
non-video participants?
You get. It says you can hide non-video participants, but I mean that's on my end, and I'm not recording.
word?
So I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, like when you go to Kenny's box. Yeah.
Oh no, he left. Right. So yeah, I'll probably try to edit it, clean up a little bit, but I think we could do another intro. We'll probably put Kenny's at the end.
Okay.
Or in the middle of the pod. You know what I'm saying? So you guys want to do another intro now? And then so that we can put his stuff in to the middle?
Yeah, it's whatever.
Just in case, so we have some flexibility just in case, because this was we was having a good time, but it might be hard for people to follow if they ain't in the squad. So so, hey, welcome back to Tweom Podcast. I'm your host, Joel Morris.
What's going on? It's your other host, Louis the 15th.
And it's your other host, Walt Rid.
Yeah. So I think the conversation for qualified immunity is good. Is there any other topics y'all want to broach, questions of the week or anything like that?
I want
to give a shout out to Campaign Zero.
Campaign Zero.
They just launched their 8 Can't Wait campaign.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah. So it's the 8 vital steps that all police departments across the country should take in order to, quell police brutality.
Yeah.
But it's just a bunch of legislation. That's what I'm waiting for right now. Cause
I wanted to talk. I agree, legislation, and we in we in a marathon. We know that. Mm-hmm. I'm very interested in this generation, or at least what we saw this week in social media. I don't know about y'all, but getting on my phone was like getting on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like a crazy, wild fucking roller coaster. And a part of you just had to get off.
Yeah.
Because it was just a ride, man. I was here in front of my computer. I haven't watched anything all week. I've been able to focus on anything else all week. I've had some thoughts. Like I said, I had to get rid of the anger this week. Like I said, just the anger of like I said, man, I can't speak to when the sense of urgency kicks in for other people, but it obviously kicked in for a lot of people in a big way this week. A sense of urgency on what are we doing with our democracy? Do we really know everything we need to know? Because I just realized people were just too comfortable this whole time, man. Like, just real comfortable in ignorance. And I said it before, ignorance it's a bliss, but it's a sinful bliss, man. Mm-hmm. Because especially if you live in a society where my life is predicated on you having some understanding of my needs, so that when you go and make decisions for the collective with a vote, that decision has weight to it. I think this week we kind of realized your vote really isn't just your vote. It really, I think this week most people kind of realize, man, their vote really isn't just their vote.
Yeah.
You mean like as opposed to like, because I've heard people say things like, I just vote based on my own personal interests.
Yeah. And I think that is wrong.
Yes.
Right.
Like a lot of people, I can understand people voting for their personal interests, but you also have to take, there are certain things that you have to take the collective interest on.
Exactly.
There are certain things you
have
to buy in
across the board.
Exactly. It does not matter. Like
exactly.
Like restrictions on police across the board. Like you have to be for it because If it's not me, it could be you.
Yeah.
And that's the.
And like I said,
Yeah.
you can have your personal interests, but you can't live by. You also have to have a complete understanding of the means to an end.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you wanted from Trump, the ends didn't justify the means at all in making that decision. And I know we knew that. I don't know if everyone expected to see the level of democracy, or at least the freedoms or liberties that we expect, like freedom to protest. So I just started watching King in the Wilderness. It's an HBO documentary about Dr. King and his last moments of his civil rights fight, right? And it's talking about how there was opposition from within his movement for him to speak up against the war. Lyndon B. Johnson has signed the Civil Rights Act of 1965, and he had also signed the Voting Rights Act of 1963. Two of the major legislations in the progression and movement of our people. And Lyndon B. Johnson was known to be a racist.
Right.
But he actually signed these things because he wanted peace. He didn't like the lynchings in the South and the marching. When King was going to oppose the Vietnam War, that was his war. So it meant going against Lyndon B. Johnson. I haven't seen the full development of it because I had to stop it so we could start the podcast, but it was very interesting because one thing Dr. King did, he decided that he had to move his fight to the North because he said down South, there was a certain expectation that you could move with. These are people who was around King at the time being interviewed for this movie. And they were saying, this one dude, I forget his name, he said, when we was down South, I was ready to die. He said, I was ready to die. And what we had to worry about was maybe 100 white people during our march yelling at the side of the road or something, right? And he said, but what they went north and went to Chicago. And one thing he was fighting was the slums. He wanted to get better housing for his people. So he was dealing in concert with the mayor, but he decided to start holding the marches that he did in the South and the North. And he was going to march to the real estate offices that were redlining our people, keeping them out of property housing. He sent black people in to ask for houses. They said, we ain't got none. Then he sent white people that were helping him to ask for houses. They said, what do you want? So he was just proving this thing. And then he talked about the racism in the South. He said he realized that it wasn't that bad. It was on the sleeve, nigger. You know what I'm saying? It was there. It was open. He said, but the racism of the North was difficult because it was so subverted. And he met opposition from black church leaders because the mayor designated funds to them. So they didn't have any recourse to speak up for people because they were good. Right. So, and then he started doing the marches in the North, and he said, man, when he started doing marches in the North, man, he said, like I said, they said in the South, we had to worry about 100 white people. He said up here, it was 10,000. And man, they marching down the streets in Chicago, and these white people got the signs out, white power, nigger, they just yelling, right? When are we going to start talking about white civil rights? Had all the signs up, bro. And he's just talking about it, gunshots going off. And it was crazy to me just to deal with so many similar images that have been flooding my phone all week. Was just in this dot in the first 15 minutes, you can see all the shit you need to see, right? So then I started thinking about what has been revealed to us about the North and the supposed liberal open arms that we've been in, because we integrated. The North is not the South, y'all. We still hear that today. Niggas be like, well, you know how to get down to Alabama. Oh, you in Georgia, but it's not Atlanta. Like, we still have those little sayings now. So what are some of these revelations that you realize after seeing the Outporters Week? What are some things that you realize that maybe you had misconceptions about white people's perception of what we were going through? Did you have anything where you were just like, what? Huh? Just anything. Let me know.
Um,
My coworkers.
I honestly, bruh, I'm gonna say this. I saw a girl that I went to school with.
Yo, turn your mic down a little bit, Lou. You're tapping out every now and then.
I don't even have a mic. I'm just talking at the computer.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know about Revelation, but I saw a girl, of course, white, that I went to school with, who just a few years ago, when probably like 2016, when we was having back-to-back, like Philando, Alton, Sterling, who was Blue Lives Matter for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't care. Like, she was following Blue Lives Matter. She was posting about it. And now fast forward to just this week, I don't know what clicked in her head. Maybe she remembered all those times she invited the brothers to her house parties and we showed up and we got it lit because that's what we do. Now all of a sudden she's like, BLM in her bio on the gram, and she posting all this da 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 da. And I'm like, cool, but like we've had so many conversations about that flip where I'm just like, it's cool to like post about it on socials, but I don't really like. I know these people in real life, and I don't take it serious. Like that whole like I'm trying to be an ally now thing. Like I'm like, why did it not click 4 years ago when you saw back-to-back brothers getting like killed on camera? Like I don't know what clicked for. Like I think it's really just like a collective conscious thing. Like the burden of proof is just so great. Like there's so many people, like so much shit has been building up to now where like it's just one of those moments where like if you don't say anything, whether you believe it or not, if you don't say anything on social media, people looking at you funny, like really looking at you funny. And I think that's probably what happened with her, because I don't believe she gonna do anything. Like I said, I know you in real life. Like you comfortable, not as comfortable as
so she's just riding a trend,
pretty much.
Yeah, I could agree with that sentiment. What about you, Walt?
I've been really fortunate about my timeline right now that everybody is on the same page. The white people that I do see on my timeline, they either one like are trying to be the best ally that they can, or two, they're checking other white people like aggressively, and I'm like, all right, so I mean, I haven't seen anybody that's talking reckless, or I haven't seen an All Lives Matter post. But I still think I have those people. They're just not posting.
They're just silent.
Yeah. I think they're just silent right now, and honestly, like they can be silent all they want. That's fine. I don't remember them. So
yeah. I think I agree with that, man. Like silence is loud right now. I shared that on my timeline. I don't know if y'all seen the video where they are asking the Republican senators about Trump's response to the protesters so he could take a fucking picture. And man, them walking by them mics not saying nothing, that silence is loud right now, bro. This one nigga was like, y'all didn't see it, didn't get a chance to check it out. So one dude was like, this is why he's like, just watch the video because it's just niggas. Like you just see niggas like they walking through there like, oh, I gotta get to lunch. And I was just like, you guys,
where do you have to go, sir? Where?
Yeah, you guys are elected officials. Like your job is to respond to the people, and it's just so nonchalantly not what you give a fuck about.
Yeah, that's really. It's like, what have y'all done so that this man has so much pull over you?
Like I said, I think they kissed the ring in the dark, bro.
No,
they had to.
Like, but why? That's the thing. Because I can see some of them begrudgingly kissing the ring, not because like they can truly see some shit working. Like he has blackmail on like half of those people.
Mm-hmm.
He got his own blackmail.
Well, I think. Well, Anonymous revealed some shit about him this week that's kind of whoa.
You talking about them pictures?
Not even the pictures, the freaking depositions from the court cases, or these people, these women who was about to be testifying in this Epstein trial. We know killed that nigga.
Oh, yeah, we've been though. Actually, I did see that. I skimmed some
Yeah,
of
when
it.
they grab Epstein for
I-
charges, it's predicated on there being people that were victims that are ready to testify.
No. But I didn't know that that's what Anonymous had dropped.
You didn't read
know
them
that.
joints?
I didn't.
Bro, this one girl had a joint where she was, so Trump and Epstein was arguing about taking the virginity of this joint. She was 13. All these courtroom affidavits that Anonymous released from the trial that would have happened, or the witnesses who would have testified, and the payoffs that Trump had to do, they had like a 12-year-old boy in there. He got out the way on the island, 14-year-old girl. This shit was crazy, bro. And then it dawned on me. I was like, that's
when
what
did Anonymous drop this?
he dropped that shit after he said expect us. The next day that joint hit. And then you had the other people online trying to say that Anonymous is posting false information, basically trying to discredit him. And I'm just like, and then he's just like, look how he did his own daughter. It's not a stretch that he was doing this shit. And don't forget, he had a whole trial for raping a minor before he was elected that just disappeared. So I often wondered what was the tape that Putin had. Because remember, we supposed to have a tape where Putin got people pissing on him or something?
Yeah.
The P tape. That was what WikiLeaks released during the election cycle. And I'm starting to think the girls in that P tape are not of age. And that's what Putin has on this nigga.
Yo,
Like,
I didn't even think about that. That's
what he has on him, bro. Because I know he went over to Russia that was having a great time, and Putin had cameras everywhere, nigga.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think that's just why he's got these strings in him, because the dude's most likely a pedophile. Like, real talk. And like I said, when Epstein died, like, I know who killed that nigga now.
Man, because how?
And this is how Trump works. He killed this nigga, and then he's like, what happened with Epstein?
Right.
Because he knew he could cast dispersions on the Clintons for it, because Bill was also on the plane. Let's keep it 100. So, I don't know, man. That shit was crazy, though, when Anonymous dropped that shit. Like I said, all the pictures with his daughter and everything. So, it was just wild. I remember the picture with Epstein and him and his daughter. That had came out a while ago, but it was going around that it was photoshopped. And now it's back. And I'm just like, no, this is a real picture, nigga. Like, this is not Photoshop. So now I'm just like, oh, shit. So that was a big thing this week. But then, like I said, I think for me, I didn't realize how superficial so many of our relationships were with white people. I knew that a lot of mine were, for the most part, just how's the weather, how's your life. Yeah. It's not superficial. I genuinely care about people. Yeah. But I mean, there's not a true gritty thing there of honesty from us. Yeah. And a part of my thinking this week, I was like, Black people owe America one thing. We do owe America something. And a lot of us have failed to deliver on this one thing we owe America. What do y'all think it is?
No, I am honestly curious as to your response.
What about you, Lou?
It's got to be our undying honesty about how we feel.
Yep.
About what it's like being a nigga.
We owe America our truth. Unfiltered, just delivered. That's what we owe America, bro. Because what I saw this week was this. I saw people who have Black friends in their life who obviously are emotionally affected by these things, but choose not to blow the bullhorn like I do on a consistent basis because of those people in their lives that would be uncomfortable from it. And I realized that so much of our comfortability is predicated on them being okay with us doing something. Because what I saw this week was, man, I saw people who once white people started posting, I seen brothers come out the woodwork, and I was like, and I seen people jumping up, and I'm like, and then it dawned on me, bro, and it's a sad revelation. These dudes who are in the hood not valuing each other, I realized, man, they won't value each other until white America does. Like, it really dawned on me because I realized that the people who have white people in their lives don't value their freedom and sense of well-being enough to be honest with them. To the point where you're nurturing a true relationship of honesty with a person you consider to be a friend or a lover. You know what I mean? People I see in interracial relationships is like Eve just posted, I've had to have many different conversations with my husband this week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I knew it already, but a part of me is like, wow, these niggas really do get married and don't be talking about nothing real. Like,
couldn't be me, bro.
And I'm just like, but I didn't realize that, because I know while I was biting the bullet, I had to eviscerate truth somewhere, because I knew it wasn't gonna be in the office, because I don't like talking to brick walls. We always get lost in the black on black crime, all lives matter shit. So I don't have these conversations. I don't bring them up. I don't run from them if the conversation brings that way. But I always tell you guys, I don't bring it up around white people, because it's just easier for me to maintain my energy. But you can hit my social media, nigga. And that's one thing also this week when we were sharing shit, I'm sitting there like, oh, we got to find resources and share it out. And it dawned on me like at 9 o'clock at night, I could just share shit from my timeline. Like, all the shit I should have been sharing all day is already posted in my shit. So that's why later at night, you just see a whole bunch of words on Monday in my story, because I'm just posting shit that I already got all this. I already told you every site you could possibly get on. I done told you things you could donate to. I done brought up the Innocence Project, Gathering for Justice, Until Freedom.
Yeah, I saw one of my friends post 13th, and they were just like, yo, if you haven't seen this documentary, you need to watch it. I'm just like,
yeah, and it's
how long ago?
Like literally, I saw everything that was posted this week is in my timeline.
Yeah.
On my IG. This one girl literally hit me up. I was just like, just scroll my IG. Like, just scroll through all this shit you've been ignoring for years. And all the things I got unfollowed on Facebook from. I know niggas unfollow me and unfriended me. Because I'll see people popping my friend suggestion like, ain't I already friends with this nigga? And I'm just like, but like I said, man, that's been a revelation to me, because I'm just like, man, a lot of them still hold the ticket to you assessing your value. Like, as a human. Like, just, like, we know we ain't free, because if white silence has kept you silent, you ain't free.
Yeah.
Like, if them not speaking about it had made you not speak about it, you're not free. I know when I was going into the Sunga place, I clock in every 9. I told y'all niggas, I got a bungee cord down that motherfucker, but I come up when I want to, you know? But even that, I understand. In that office, I'm not free. I've always understood where I'm not free in this society, because I'm not me. I just didn't realize that it was like that much, because some of the stuff white people were talking about, part of me is like, okay, they're probably trying to get the people in their timeline together, because they getting a lot of all lives matters in the comments and in their private messages right now for finally speaking up, which I could commend. But then, like I said, when I was releasing that anger, man, I just had to be, all right, Joel, like what you see posted. If something is said, like, just let them know that I appreciate, or not even appreciate, but I see that they are aware to a degree now.
Right.
Because I don't want that to be, because it is on some level something I have to admit that I wanted, which was just an awareness to wash over people that I consider to be smart. Like, I don't chill with people I think are dumb. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if we know any dumb niggas, we ain't with them that long. Like, oh, what's up? Oh, I ain't seen you in a minute, bro. We know them niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that for me, it was just like, that's what I was just working on this week, man. Just working on my, the new world I'm seeing. Working on living in it. Because now I already know what's going to happen. All of a sudden it's going to be, because now they got to start conversations, right? They got to have difficult conversations with us, right? So when y'all go back, y'all on call now. Like, Lewis,
nah.
What do you think about this?
Nah. Even the usual person that be hitting me up with that BS, I can't even find her on Facebook no more. You know who I'm talking about. I'm
No,
like, it must have got
look, some people have disappeared. Like, I'm wondering, did COVID get these niggas? Because I'm talking about they are gone. it's like, man, I don't know, man. Like I said, those are just a couple of things I've been thinking about this week, man. Anything I want to expound upon or talk, like rebuttal with, or just bring up or highlight anything that I just said?
Well, there was a different angle that I was thinking of earlier this week too, and I'm not sure if Lewis, if this has ever crossed your mind, but like being being a first generation kid here, like we grew up in the shit, you know. So like we see it, we understand it for what it is. Um, but when we hear when I hear comments like, you know, the white kids are like, if you don't like it here, just move back to Africa, or move here and move that, like just leave. Like in the back of my little mind, like if this shit really does get like severely terrible for black people, I always know there's a country I can run to where I might be poor, but I know I'm not going to be persecuted.
Shit, you taking
Yeah.
money over there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like right, like I might, they might rob me because I'm poor. Like they might do things, but it's like because of I know it's not because of the color of my skin.
Exactly.
Like
Everything you have to look out for over here, you got to look out for over there, except for
exactly,
that.
exactly, which honestly, even if you are the poorest person, like for a black person, just putting an American in that situation, like, look, they're gonna come at you for how you look.
Yeah.
Like where, like, yeah, like you can
Yeah.
relax. That is it's a freedom that I realized that I enjoyed. I'm just like, shit, like it's so urgent to dismantle this shit, because like to not even feel like truly at peace, like ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just mean, like, I don't know. But I think we've always been that way, though. Like,
Well, yeah.
I just think the urgency to dismantle it, because like I said, I think that we all saw pure, unadulterated racism in that video.
Yeah.
Like, can't run from it.
Can't deny it.
Like Killer Mike said when he mentioned that segregationist speech, he said that the cornerstone speech is basically a speech that was made by the Confederate leaders that said the black man is less than the white man. And he said that cop believed that speech. It's undeniable that cop believed that speech. And so I think that the wiggle room, which I'm always wary of, because like Lou said, man, it's just some of these people just trending right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the wiggle room they took on some of these other videos was crazy. You know, like on the Alton video, I remember having a conversation with a friend who's not black, and he was like, "Oh yeah, man, if Philando, that's crazy. That he needs justice." The Alton one though, looks like he has a couple charges in the background. I'm not too sure about.
bro, I done had a conversation with a coworker, Asian dude, try to like refute and debate the Philando Castile video. I'm like, nah, just no. Like, just get out of my face with that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no wiggle room ever with any of these videos to me. Like,
yeah, I agree,
you
man.
saw what you saw. I don't care what happened before the camera cut on. I don't care what happened after. Point blank, you just saw a nigga get killed on camera. Like,
Exactly.
It shouldn't be that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%, man. I completely agree. And like I said, man, seeing the actual protests, I've seen the passion and the just the militant nature of some of these kids, man. Like the way that like they just hit the street ready for whatever happens in these protests, man. Whatever the NYPD got for them, they got it. Like I don't know if it's because they're in the city, they just got that spirit about them, or if it's, you know, but I see all of them out there, man. White trans kids, white LGBT, black, Hispanic, Asian. Saw a video with his Asian kid say he was out there for 15 minutes. Cop hit him with a tear gas canister, blew up his eye, and almost took his vision out. But he was just talking like how he just nonchalantly went to a march and was out there for his friends. And then at the end of the video, man, you could just see that they made a soldier. Like he's hurt.
Yeah.
Like he's hurt, and he'll never be the same again, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, man, the milk, the way you see cops putting bricks around the cities to make them fuck up, it speaks to how violent they think we really are.
The video of them stabbing the water from the makeshift medical stand.
Yeah.
It's like, first off, like,
wait, what happened?
So there was a what city was it in? I'm sorry, can't remember.
Was that Minnesota?
I think it was in
or
Minnesota.
Houston.
I think it was.
I know they had it around the statue or fountain, right? All the provisions like milk, water, everything was around there, right?
No, it was like a section that they designated for nurses and
okay.
EMTs volunteered,
whatnot,
and they had water, they had milk, they had provisions, and they said that they had the setup approved, from the city. But cops come through, nah, get the fuck out of here, blah blah blah, and they start stabbing all the water.
Yeah, I do.
They dump it out. It's just like, wait, wouldn't it have just been easier just to leave it?
Yeah. It's like, but by that note, wouldn't it just be easier to have a comprehensive immigration program instead of locking people's kids in cages?
I mean, yeah, but that's an immigration program, and somebody can always, argue the intricacies of that. But if I am a fucking cop and they say stab that water, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah, I agree, man. I've seen some horrible things from police this week where I'm just like, why?
It's like they don't have what kind of brainwashing where a cop doesn't have the fundamental question of why for the actions he is being told to do.
Yeah. But I told did I tell y'all about that? I think I told Lou about it because he came by this week. We was trying to hit a protest up, but we missed it. Michael Jai White has an interview with DJ Vlad where he's talked about where he tried to be a police officer. And when he was in the final interview phase, one of the people at the hiring phase told him, look, we're going to bring you on because you were recommended by one of our chiefs, but usually we don't pick people like you to be police officers. He said, why? He says, your IQ is too high. We realize that people with a certain level of IQ don't take orders well. So there's a criteria for some of these police officers that must be met that they are technically brainwashable. Yeah. Like same thing with our military to a degree. I think you have more people. Yeah. The army is different in some regards because you have some people who join just for college, financial reasons. They got in trouble with the law. The judge told them join the military, you go to jail. There's a myriad of reasons why people join the military, but it's kind of only two reasons you become a cop: to help people or to control people. And I guess they just so free thinking, because I remember all the military veterans and active duty military who completely understood what Colin was talking about. Yeah. When he took the knee, and we're with him, and it took knee with him. As a matter of fact, and the Marine actually gave him the advice of taking the knee, because initially Colin was sitting on the bench, just not getting up. And then he said, well, sometimes in order to honor our fallen brothers in the military, we take a knee during the national anthem. So Colin said, okay, I'll do that. Like that got lost in all the shit with him, that an actual veteran of the military instructed him on how he could do it better and still pay respect to the people who died for the flag, right? Because they always act like we didn't die for this shit too. Like we got so many bodies in the dirt for this country, bro.
Recorded.
That's what I want. I want all black people to get tax exemption for 400 years.
You see how
right now my taxes are going to killing my brothers.
The owner of the founder of BET says that reparations should be $14 trillion.
Now we talking.
Yeah,
that's a good number. That's a solid number. Cause like I said, man, like I completely agree. Charlamagne says this all the time. He says America won't ever get right till they do right by black people. You have an original say. Don't think, man. Look, you ain't got to believe in God, bro, but believe in the universe. There's a reason why we all getting 2020 vision in 2020. I'm gonna speak on it. There's a reason why I understand the universe said, oh, these motherfuckers need a moment to theyself. They locked us in the house. let us see the world for what it is, exposing corrupt officials left and right. Oh, you ain't gonna worry about your citizens. You ain't gonna do this for the PPE. You ain't gonna worry about your doctors, your nurses, your healthcare infrastructure. See what the president was doing to the governors outlandishly. But the universe put all of us in a position where we need assistance from a higher source, meaning government, doctors, right? They put every American citizen in that position. So when Trump's fucking up, you can't even excuse it because you need the help too. You know, the means ain't justifying you right now because you see, hold on, we ain't doing what? Why ain't he doing that? I don't understand. He ain't been doing shit this whole time in office, but you just ain't affected by the shit he ain't been doing. But now you affected. So they gave us that window, right? Then as soon as the country opened up on one of our biggest holiday weekends, the devil reveals himself.
Wow.
In a video. And don't forget why they started a Memorial Day originally. It was to honor the black men who had died in the Civil War, fighting for their freedom. There's a reason these racists pick certain things and do certain things. Like, I like how a lot of black people think it's a coincidence. We only been 13% of the population for over 50 years. And we all know niggas that have babies. Like, you don't think it's weird that it stays at 13th Amendment? I'm just saying, son.
Hey.
It's not conspiracy if it's just like shots fired. Look, there's a reason they put that nigga that freed the slaves on the penny. That's all. That's the least.
Also on the $5 bill.
Hey, look, man, I understand it. He's on the penny of the $5 bill, yeah. But there's a reason they put that motherfucker on that penny.
Hey, but Ulysses S. Grant is on the 50. Damn.
On the 50.
Grant is on the 50.
And Ben's on the 100, and he was racist as shit till he's about to die. Niggas on his deathbed. I now understand that black people can read too. I'm like, he was supposed to be the smart nigga.
Right, like I thought he like invented libraries and shit. Like,
Well, you know, we get that revisionist history taught to us.
Yeah.
The people in power always seem to white out they said, as Cole said.
What's that? Because I'm like, didn't the Greeks have libraries? Like,
Oh, that's another thing that pissed me off this week. How dare the internet come for Kendrick and J. Cole?
Bro, I know you talk. I seen that joint. I'm like, no name. Actually, hold on.
Who came
I don't
for
think
J. Cole?
nobody specifically came for J. Cole, but I did see one of those like hip hop pages on Instagram saying that No Name was attacking rappers whose catalog be about like black plight, but then when protests is going on, they don't hit the streets. And this hip hop page alleged that she was talking about Cole and Kendrick, which
First off,
is bullshit. Cole will always be at the protests, and Kendrick move in silence anyway, so you don't know what he be doing.
Look, he gave you gospel with the Pimp a Butterfly. If y'all niggas ain't listen to it.
As on you.
Exactly,
what
man.
else do you want from him?
What do you need? He gave you Mortal Man. Listen to the end. Listen to the whole Mortal Man song. It's literally for everything going on right now. Man. Pac says in that interview in Mortal Man, you got to fight back while you're young.
Yep.
While you young, while you got the energy, while you want to bust back. Because he said, look at all these 30-year-old motherfuckers around here. They ain't trying to fight nothing.
Yep.
They ain't got the energy to it. It's dead. They dead inside. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
He ain't lying.
I don't know who she was talking about, but damn sure wasn't Kendrick and Cole. But again, that's that internet.
I know
shit,
Wale
man. Throwing names out there for no reason.
Yeah. Like I said, look, their job as artists is to give you a message. If y'all niggas ain't listening to it because you were featured in the club, that's not their fault.
That is not their fault.
Niggas, I remember when niggas said, I agree with the message of the Pimp a Butterfly, but sonically, now I'm gonna find out y'all niggas ain't even hear the message.
Y'all ain't even hear the album.
Yeah, man. Sonically, it wasn't there for me. I'm like, okay.
That's Jesus. That's like, Kendrick. Jesus.
Exactly. Kendrick literally said on Damn, is it wickedness or weakness?
Is it wickedness?
The blind lady in the opening track, Blood, is Lady Justice. She's on the street. He said he walked into this blind woman on the street. That is Lady Justice. She's supposed to be blind. Mm-hmm. And he literally says to her, do you need my help? Can I show you what you need to be able to do? And she said, yeah. And then you'll die. And he killed her. Yes. She killed him. So basically, he said at the end of the album, he said, I could die in street violence, which you revealed in Duckworth, or I could die through their violence. Now, at one point, we got to ask ourselves a question. Is it wickedness or weakness? I think on Monday, we found out it's wickedness. And then the following support we see has just been from weakness. Their silence was from weakness. Like I said, that whole album is, if you break it down and really listen to what he's talking, it's all in there. Like, because right after he talks in Blood, he goes into DNA, which opens with the Greg Rivaldo quote. Aside from the Drake part that's clipped off at the end, that's a demonstration for him saying, I told you in All Right how we are. Popo One is dead. I gave you my reality through my music, and you chose to take that one line from it and turn me into a villain. That's why he literally is like, after that is Yaya, where he's just warped by the distortion that people put on him and his music and our people in general.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, the whole album speaks to me. I'm just like, that was shocking for me to see.
It's the music of the revolution, but
yeah,
people that were trying to discredit both of them.
Yeah.
First off,
just no. There's certain things that speak for themselves. Just
exactly.
Come on, bro. You seen J. Cole at protest for like the last 6 years. Come on.
Right.
Exactly.
J. Cole's gonna be there.
And he gave us Be Free.
Hey, man,
that's just internet cap right there. I
yeah.
don't even give it no mind.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Oh, yo, Joey Badass's album, American Badass, bro. You talk about, he moved into pure prophetic status. The last track, American Idol, he literally says at the end of that joint, they're going to try to start an uprising so that they have a reason to try to silence the people. And he said, but we have no choice but to rebel. But we got to be careful about how we go about it, though, because they want us all dead or in jail. So he's just at the end of that joint. It just literally, listen to American Idol at the end of American Badass by Joey Badass. Listen to the whole song, then listen to the end of that joint. He literally breaks all the shit that's happening down. Like literally, a part of you is just like, nigga, did you get out of time machine?
Hey.
It's called history.
Joey's been
Facts.
ill, man. Joey's been ill.
Yeah, exactly, man. That was one thing about it in the King documentary. They started talking about COINTELPRO.
Who's that?
Y'all know about COINTELPRO?
Oh yeah.
That's where they monitored every aspect of Martin Luther King's life, and then would release, like, because Martin Luther King, like, he had a couple affairs with some snow bunnies and shit, and he actually they recorded the audio from his conversations with the girls and sent them to Coretta. So COINTELPRO was essentially trying to besmirch him for his, like, for instance, with James Baldwin, they revealed that he was a homosexual, and they thought that would discredit him amongst African Americans, so he would no longer be a voice for them, because you know how religious we are, so we kind of persecute those groups sometimes. And it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, so COINTELPRO is essentially just a complete invasion of someone's life in order to cause and be able to get accurate information that could cause division amongst their followers and supporters. So they still do that shit now. It's like when they post stuff about Sean King stealing money. It's just COINTELPRO, and they do it with Hove. Oh, he was an opportunist. He made a deal with the NFL, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, was he opportunist, or was he a dude trying to get Cap into the building any way he could? It didn't work out, but we saw they fake ass memo this week. That's one thing I want every nigga to pay attention to. Don't be there when they snap the football in September. That's what we need to start doing, man. We just really need to just give up. We don't have to hit the street and protest, but we do have to stop going to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Nah, that's facts.
We have to, man. I told my mom, she was like, I wanted to try. I was like, we ain't trying shit. I don't care if they release Popeyes. I don't care if Popeyes knew better than to give money to that nigga. Popeyes was like, you fucking with our number one demographic.
Absolutely. Popeyes is loyal.
Yeah. Can you imagine the memes that would have went out if Popeyes was on that list?
Yo.
Right.
I just couldn't imagine that the et tu. At 2 Popeyes.
No,
At
if
2.
you know that one picture of Wesley Snipes and he's crying but he's holding the gun. And I gotta, it's like, you too, Papa.
Yeah, now I like the joke with the black kid at the table where he just goes like, yes, I love it. That's niggas when they find out Popeyes is donating the truck. Dude, but I'm trying to tell them, man, we gotta let them feel it pocket-wise, man. This is what we do. We live, it's a capitalist society, options on what you consume with. And same thing, I don't appreciate these half-hearted messages from these multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar industries like Bank of America going to release a Black Lives memo. Nigga, how about all them interest rates you gave us for years that was higher than white people?
I'm waiting for Wells Fargo's BS statement, man.
Oh man,
no, Wells Fargo know better than to make a statement.
Nigga, I bet you tomorrow I go to the ATM, they got something in that bitch. If you are affected by, here's an organization, they always do some shit like that. But I saw Amazon release a statement, and people got their conspiracies on Jeff Bezos at this point.
Look, if Bezos is any kind of, if he wants to rule, he's going about it in the worst possible way.
You know what's funny? Joe Rogan said Amazon's probably the one dropping off all them bricks. We know how quick they are with delivery.
Yo, Joe got jokes.
Joe had a good point. He brought up the fact that all of these brick and mortar stores that have gone bankrupt and then got destroyed through the riots, that's Amazon. Because now when he builds all these warehouses in rural areas, the only place you could work would be Amazon. Yeah. The whole time I thought the company that would rule the future would be Google. Well, I think it's going to be Amazon.
Yeah, no, Google.
I thought it was going to be Apple, bro.
That too.
But Apple on some bullshit with these phone updates, man.
Yeah.
But they've been on some bull ever since Steve died, so.
I'm about to say, niggas been feeding y'all bull for 10 years now.
They've been feeding crap for 10 years.
I got to get to bed now. I didn't realize the time.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll end it up. All right. So, no question of the week. I want to do a question of the week.
That was my question of the week.
What?
Where does that bail money go?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't know if we really answered it. Niggas ain't researched nothing, but.
No, I mean, I guess we can follow up next week.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sure.
Well, all right. Well, this has been a Tweom podcast. I'm your host, Joel Morris.
It's your boy, Louis the 15th.
And it's your other host, Walt Reed.
All right, this has been a Tweom podcast. Thank you for listening.